installed, because they're like, $30-$40 to buy a set. They're not super expensive. She put new windshield wipers on there, and she got the oil changed. So it was pretty nice of her to do all that for my birthday. I appreciated that. Oh, and she got the 60,000 mile service done, whatever the 60,000 mile service is on the vehicle. But I think she did that more because she was like, I want to make sure this car runs as long as possible, more than just as like a birthday gift kind of thing.
Right.
And then I had to spend like $300 to get a
tire.
Your
birthday's what? 20th, April, right?
Yeah. It just took a while to figure out how to like get it down, what shop to take it to, and all that kind of stuff. Like $300 to get a tire.
Your birthday's what?
Yeah, just to see how it goes. It takes a time. Oh, careful! You may not want to watch the "It's a Gundam" video that came out because he's talking about that new Fallout show.
Oh, gotcha.
I assume he's talking about the Fallout show. It's Fallout related. The Fallout show is a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend it. To me, I felt like there wasn't enough action, but I don't know. Maybe you'll feel differently. Other than that, it was pretty unoffensive. Yeah. It just wasn't very like I wanted to be like, oh my god, that's amazing, but it was just like, no, it was pretty good. It was enjoyable. I don't regret watching it.
Yeah, that's kind of the best you can hope for nowadays, though, isn't it? Just that didn't feel like a waste of time.
Let me see. I'll see if I can find a copy of this and put it in the.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'll be right back, folks.
Let's see.
I tell you, there's a cat that just decided it lives in our front yard now.
Oh, yeah?
Did I tell you about that already?
No, I hadn't heard about that. I imagine that's really fucking obnoxious, though. Because does you have a dog over there all the time?
It's weird, because, it just showed up. And, we haven't fed it or anything. I've given it water. But I just leave the dog's dish out. It's about all I've done. The cat's just, camped out here.
Huh, weird.
So I feel
I'm sure the cat's fine.
We had the dog show up here a while back. Yeah, it seems pretty tame and shit. That's weird because it doesn't have a collar or anything. But it's friendly.
I'm sure that happened here too.
Even though I've done nothing to encourage it. But the dog is, cannot. The cat will still hang out, and I have to restrain the dog from going after it. I gotta restrain the grandpuppy that just wants to, forcibly,
keep it from attacking.
Stop! Hey. Yeah, love bombing. He's not gonna bite it or anything, but he just wants to smother everything, with over enthusiastic affection. So I have to put the harness on him if I take him off the front. Because normally, I'll just click the thing on his collar because he doesn't really pull all that hard usually. Yeah. But with that, it would be choking him, so I have to put the harness on him when I take him out front now.
Oh, wow.
Because he would just literally just keep going after that fucking cat, trying to fucking, get to know it. Leave the kitty cat alone. Leave the kitty cat alone. All right, yeah. Leave it. Leave it, Luke. Leave it. Come on. Leave it. Leave it. Yeah, he will obsess over it. He'll just fucking stare at it for he will not stop. He just stares at the poor cat. Like, I have to leave him on a really short leash. Leave a kitty cat alone. So I'm hoping he'll leave it. I'm hoping he finally just gets used to it. He doesn't have to constantly go after it. But it's only been a couple days that I've back. Stay close.
Man. I don't know if you have any interest in anime, sir, but I put a link to a film that I thought was fucking amazing that I watched the other day. So, like one of it's an anime movie, and it's one of the more well done and more beautiful stories I think I've ever seen in a film in a long time. It's just such a beautiful story, and it's such an interesting like peek into like a bunch of different people's lives kind of style of movie. Yeah. Dude, what the fuck was with that DA? Like, holy shit, she just drove home, just ignored the fucking cop, like she didn't think there was gonna be a problem with that. Then she wants to show her DA badge and call the fucking police chief and all that. And then she had the audacity to tell the reporter, "Oh yeah, it all happened so fast." I'm like, the only thing that happened fast was your driving.
Yeah, and calling the chief of police, that happened pretty quickly.
Yeah. I didn't want him to think I was a threat. Really? That's what you were thinking?
The thing that should have happened. Yeah. I love how the fucking that was great that she actually followed up with, you could have just pulled over. Or they didn't say it exactly like that, but you know how else you could have shown that you weren't a threat? Just pulled over, like everyone else is required to. Luke, leave the kitty alone.
Yeah, because even if the cop's a total prick, if you just pull over...
I like that the fucking...
Like, it's so much better for you to just pull over immediately. Even if the cop's trying to, like, set you up, or he's a dirty cop, or whatever bullshit you want to think, because the majority of the time it's just a traffic stop, and they're just going to give you a ticket. Or, if you're lucky, a warning. Sometimes you can get away with just a warning, depending on how you talk to the police officer. Like, I've always found, as long as you're just respectful and you don't try to deny, like, what they say, because there's no point in doing so, even if you think they're lying. Like, there's no point in saying, like, nuh-uh. If they're like, well, I caught you doing, 65 in a 60 zone. Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have been paying more attention to my speed. Clearly I have made a mistake and will pay more attention in the future. It's much better answer than, no, you're fucking lying. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah. No, with her, it was pretty obvious, because she's like, okay, there was an 18-second call to the chief of police of the Webster town, or whatever, the town of Webster, or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know exactly what I said, but... And I'm like, really? And an 18-second call, you can't really know, you don't remember what you said? I'm like, okay. If it was an 18-minute call and you're like, I can't recall everything, like, that makes sense.
Yeah, 18 minutes would have definitely made a lot more sense.
Can you tell this fucking cop that I'm special? Luke, get out of there. Back. Leave it.
Yeah, 18 minutes would have made a lot more sense than the bullshit she was selling. I was like, what do you mean you don't remember? You know what you said. You said, I'm a super special snowflake, and you're not allowed to put me in, and I'm not allowed to get in trouble. We all know that's what you said. Like, make this cop leave me alone.
Yeah.
This is exactly what was being said there. Come on.
Oh.
And we're supposed to believe
Call your cop guy and tell him to leave me alone, because I'm special.
Yeah, we all know that's what we said in that call. That's so funny.
No mic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and the fact, I don't know what exactly.
Yeah,
I was letting him know I wasn't
so weird
threat. I figured it would the most efficient way to do that, the most efficient way to let him immediately, it was calling the chief of police and driving to my house and driving my car into my garage. That was the most effective way, the most efficient way to let him know I wasn't a threat. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
She knew she was doing
And yeah,
something.
did you
she
watch
wasn't
like the
supposed
entire
to.
interview? Or?
I kind of tuned out
Yeah.
after the first few minutes when it became pretty obvious that she wasn't really there
Well, I mean,
to do anything other than say like,
yeah, she
I'm
had no
sorry,
fallback
I
answer.
don't remember what I did. I would do things differently in the future if I could. Like, it was just like a bunch of fucking pat responses.
Yeah.
And she was just gonna say whatever she could figure out to say to get out of
yeah.
trouble. So it was like, I don't believe a fucking word you're saying anymore, lady.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
she's
buying that.
definitely full of shit, dude.
Yeah, it was very fake.
And
was
yeah,
very,
dude, the best part was like when they talked about her resigning. You know, like people talking about her resigning. It's like, no, I was elected to this position by the people, and I'm going to keep serving the people. Yeah, like, fuck you, bitch. That's such a bullshit fucking response. Like, you should be fucking. Ugh. Like, you're not getting reelected.
Such a transparent
so, fuck you.
response.
Yeah. Nope. I was elected by the people, so I'm going to keep serving the people by, considering myself to be above the law and not pull over for cops the way everyone's supposed to. Because again, if it was anyone else, how does that go down?
Oh yeah,
go down
they
that
go to
way,
jail. They go to jail. Like,
they
she
literally
should have
just
gone
fucking
straight
don't
to
pull
jail.
over.
That was the part that was
Yeah.
frustrating about that whole thing. Was like,
yeah.
when she refused to go into, when she refused to just point blank, like, was just, I'm not going to do it, to like go out and stand by the car, like the cop was saying, like that should have been jail time.
Yeah, you just be like, hey, stand by the back of the car. Come on. Yeah, I'm really curious about what was in the bag that she said was her lunch.
Oh, was she carrying drugs? That would actually make a lot.
Do you remember
of
that
sense.
part?
I didn't really think much of it, but when you're mentioning it, that actually makes a lot of sense. It could have been like drugs or something. I'm
sure the district attorney is bringing a packed lunch to fucking work every day instead of just eating out at whatever fancy restaurants nearby.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's not bringing her own fucking lunch. Yeah, that was the part.
That's a lot more stuff. I don't know why I didn't consider
brought that inside. Yeah. Well, I didn't quite catch it at first either. But then I was like, wait a minute, what? I was listening also, so I didn't see what the bag actually looked like. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I thought that was like a leftover bag, like, you know what I mean, like a plastic bag or something. Then I'm like, wait a minute, you know, because he was like, that purse? No, this isn't a purse. This is my lunch. It's your lunch? Okay, you have a cloth. Yeah, that seemed super fishy. And then when she was asked about like what medications or whatever, she's like, oh, I got my chemotherapy. So she, obviously was going for sympathy points with the chemotherapy thing. And then like, yeah, no drugs or nothing illegal and nothing. I believe.
Oh, wait a minute. What state was it in?
I think it was New York. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Rochester. Yeah.
New York is weed legal in any respect in New York? Like, can you get it for like?
I don't know. Probably.
I think you can get it for like for medical stuff, but I don't believe you can get it for anything else. So I wonder if she was using weed as a way to like cope with the side effects of the cancer treatment, and maybe had a big old bag of some not quite fully legal weed, because she didn't want to have any record of the DA buying medical marijuana, or illegal marijuana or whatever,
Yeah, that would make a.
Let me see if it's legal in New York. I'm pretty sure it's medical. New York. It's legal. Oh, it's legal for adults 21 and older to possess up to 3 ounces of cannabis and up to 24 grams of concentrated cannabis for personal use. You don't even have to have it for medical. But I could totally see a DA having a bunch of weed
Okay.
because she's got cancer treatment and she needs something to, keep her appetite and help with the side effects of the cancer stuff, and just not want anybody to catch her doing weed because it just would look bad,
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I still think it was probably. I think she'd be that upset about it. I'm
It
thinking
could
she
be.
had,
It
like,
could
some
be harder
illegal pills
drugs.
with her, dude.
It could be harder drugs. It's entirely possible.
Yeah, it could be both.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it
I'm
could be
devil's
both, actually.
advocate.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking with the whole chemo thing. I'm thinking weed and like fentanyl or something.
Oh, could be.
Like
Yeah,
both,
pain relief
you know
stuff.
what I mean?
Pain relief is often a lot of what they need for weed for cancer stuff. Oh, wouldn't it be interesting if it was?
So yeah, I'm thinking like some kind of.
fucking fentanyl for personal use, like she's a fentanyl head.
Yeah. She wouldn't want that getting out.
No, that would definitely.
Yeah, either
not
way,
be-
there was
that would
something
not
going
be
on
good
about
for
that.
her. Yeah, you make a good point. I would
Yeah.
agree. There's definitely something up with that
Oh.
bag.
You know, I'm here. Jesus Christ, were you staring at the cat the whole fucking time? Leave it. Leave the kitty alone, you fucking weirdo. Dude, this whole time. I just realized it. I kind of forgot about him because we were talking. This entire time, dude, he had just been standing there, staring at the fucking cat. You're a weirdo. Leave the kitty alone. She'll come to you, okay? You wait. She'll come to you, okay?
Oh, does he
You're
want to
ready.
be friends with the cat?
Or
Like,
maybe
he's
not.
like would want to chase it, or?
Yeah, he's a golden retriever. Yeah, he's a golden retriever. Dude. They want to be fucking friends with every living fucking organism.
Breed doesn't always dictate behavior with cats. Like, it's, some dogs are really good with cats. Some dogs are really bad with cats. A lot of dogs are really bad with cats until they've been introduced and like gotten a chance to meet them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because they're
Dude,
trying
don't
to
make
like,
me, dude, I
attack
will
the cats,
fucking-
but because dog language and cat language are very different. Like the body language, they have to learn.
I will bombard you. I will bombard you. I will bombard you with videos of golden retrievers being super good friends with cats and a bunch of other animals.
Yes,
Dude.
I understand.
Don't make me do it.
It's still not a breed thing. It's just a owner
Yeah, I
training
know.
their pet thing.
I know.
Because it's one of those things where like they
Leave it
have to
alone.
learn how to talk to the cat with body language, because like dogs and
Yeah.
dogs
Yeah,
play for prey. It's like where they step
cats
and
are
they put their hind end up.
very
That's
freaked
hunting
out by the
behavior
energy.
for cats. So
The energy.
dog says I want to play with body language. Cat says, why are you hunting me, you sick fuck? It's like it's usually hard.
Yeah,
for them to
no,
get
the
along
cats,
with that.
yeah, and the energy level.
Yeah.
The energy levels seems to be the most what they have to get used to because golden retrievers are so like
Oh,
fucking
with golden
energetic
retrievers,
and
yeah, I
shit,
can see that with golden retrievers.
and
being,
cats are usually a lot more laid back.
Yeah, dogs are very enthusiastic with their friends too, which cats are not used to at first. Usually takes a little bit of
Yes.
takes a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah. So yeah, it definitely takes time for them. Because yeah, every time I see like the first time the cat and the golden retriever interacts, the cat's fucking freaked out. Because you shut up. Shut up. Get over here. Shut up. Leave it. Yeah, every time the cat's freaked out, it's got its back arched and fucking all puffed out and shit. But then, like, it's still kittens. It'll still, like, even kittens will do it. But, like, obviously the kittens are not much bigger, and it's showing the kittens all laying, like a bunch of kittens laying all over the golden retriever.
Oh yeah.
So they seem to establish the rapport pretty quickly.
Oh, I'm sure golden retrievers are great with cats once they're introduced.
Yeah,
and
I've
they learn
seen
how to,
bunnies,
like,
I've seen
behave
chicks.
properly.
Like baby chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just they're too enthusiastic, and it freaks the cats out at first. But it seems like they definitely learn to chill out around them.
Yeah, it just usually takes a little bit of time for the
Once they
translation
get, you know what I mean?
factor.
They're like, oh, okay, I can't.
Yeah, I can't go run up and like shove it with my
Yeah, they
nose
learn
really
the
hard,
language.
and they expect it not to
Yeah.
scratch the shit out of me. And
They're like, oh, if I don't fucking. Yeah. So yeah, once they all get past that, They seem to be just fine. But yeah, I guess leave it alone. Look, figure something else out to do. I should have brought a toy out or something for him. Now that I think about it, leave it alone, okay, Poppers? You big old boy. Leave the poor kitty cat alone. Yeah, the cat, like I said, it's pretty well behaved. Leave it. Jesus Christ. Leave it, Luke. Leave the kitty alone. Or no speak at the very least. All right, yeah, I'm not going to be able to hang out here too long.
Oh, because the
It's
dog
going to
is just
ruin.
too fucking
Because she's going to
obsessed with
start
the
barking
cat.
at it like every couple. Yeah, I'm trying to get him like again, just to where he's not like all freaked out by it, or you know what I mean, all excited.
Oh, yeah, it
Leave
takes a
it,
lot of
folks.
exposure for some dogs to get used to it, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they
my
just need
son's not
to...
great. He hasn't been great. Yeah, yeah, and my son, I don't think has done a proper job of socializing this dog enough
Oh, yep.
with other people
That
and
can
other
be...
animals. So he doesn't know. He just fucking any new organism, he just fucking freaks out and wants to fucking love bomb immediately. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
hopefully they'll get to the point where he can relax and just be like, oh, a new person. Like, I'll be enthusiastic, but I'm not going to jump all over them and, try to dry hump them or whatever.
Makes
You
sense.
know?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Oh, yeah, because I used to take him to the park, so I could at least do it. But with not having a vehicle working anymore, I can't just go take him to the park whenever.
Man.
So yeah, my son, he says he takes him walking sometimes, but I wonder how often he actually does.
Oh, yeah, that can be a real difficult one, too. If you have a high energy animal and you're not real fan of getting out and walking it on a daily basis, that can be real trouble. Because
Yeah, and he might.
they
You
need to
know,
get
he
the
might not.
exercise.
Yeah, I mean, he might not be lying to me. My son's not a huge liar, but that is something he would probably lie to me about. One of the few things
I
that he would.
I would say that's one of those things that's really easy to exaggerate. You know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily a lie
Yeah,
as
yeah,
much as it is just like yeah, I get out and walk the dog once in a while. Yeah, well, once in a while for you and once in a while for me
yeah,
might be totally different things. So,
yeah, yeah. That might be every 2 or 3 days. It might be every 2 or 3 weeks.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
a non-definite amount of time for sure.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I wouldn't be worried about lying straight up necessarily with them like that. I would just be like, well, what do you mean by that? Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah. So
I almost never
I
took the
should try
dogs
to
out for
probably try to
walks,
figure out
so.
some way to take them to the. Yeah, but this is yeah. They were smaller dogs though, weren't they? That you had,
We had a husky and
or
a
less
dachshund
energetic.
and a
Oh
small
Jesus.
Australian herder. But to be fair, I was against getting all of the dogs. I don't like having pets. I didn't want anything to do with any of them. So I was just like, you guys are on your own. Leave me out of
Yeah,
this. The only
yeah.
thing I
Okay, I
did was
gotcha.
I
Yeah, husky. That's a
fed
high energy.
them.
Jesus.
I fed them because I
Yeah, I
was
gotcha.
insistent that they be
Yeah,
fed at
huskies are different.
the same time every day. Like, just like, no, we're gonna feed them at the same time every day, so they're not constantly like whining for food or harassing us for
Yeah.
food. Um,
Yeah, and dogs prefer to have a routine, especially around food. They definitely prefer to know when they're going to be.
yeah. And so I just was
Yeah.
like, no, we're gonna make sure these dogs eat at like 6 p.m. every single day, and then I proceeded to do that, and I was very strict with that.
Yeah, no, that's an important one for sure.
Um, But other than that,
Yeah,
I just
but yeah, it's
didn't
weird
really
because
want
like
anything to do with it.
huskies. Yeah, yeah, like huskies are high energy, but it's a completely different like frequency than the golden retriever high energy.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
it's much
mean?
more
Like
manic.
the
It's much more
huskies
manic.
are
Like
a
I
lot
gotta
more
get out. I
high
gotta do something.
strung.
I gotta get out. I gotta do something right now. I gotta fucking go out. I got energy. I gotta go fucking do something. They're like,
Yeah, they're a lot more jerky and like fucking yeah. With the golden retrievers, like they've got plenty of energy, but it's a little more mellow, I guess. Um, yeah, just not nearly as high strung. It's funny because I've watched
oh, I was gonna say that. I was gonna
videos
say
of them
Husky's energy is
interacting.
more
Oh,
high strung. That is exactly how I was gonna put the Husky's
yeah,
energy is
yeah,
because they're like so high strung. That's funny.
yeah. Because yeah, some of the golden retriever channels I follow, like they'd have like a play date with a husky, and yeah, it took them a while, probably longer than it did with like cats, to figure out the some kind of equilibrium between the frequencies, the energy frequencies those two dogs operate on
Oh yeah,
when you introduce a husky to a golden retriever.
yeah. They're very
Yeah,
different
yeah. Like the
dogs.
one has basically the two golden retrievers, one husky. They're looking at them like, what the fuck? And like anybody who knows a husky is like, no, that's them asking to. They want to play. That's them asking you to play with them. But they have a completely different way of doing it
Yep,
than golden retrievers do. So the golden retrievers are just like, what the fuck is your problem? Like Jesus, dude.
yep. Oh yeah. Well, and Huskies' attempts to play can often turn more aggressive unintentionally. Like it's not
Yeah,
even that they're
yeah, they're
trying to
definitely.
be intimidating or aggressive. They just they're strong and they're very mercurial.
Yeah, they're high strung. They might end up escalating more than they intend to or need to.
Yeah, they don't always understand that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, because I've noticed yeah, nah. They're just like, no, we got to ramp it up, man. Got to get more intense with the fighting. Yeah, I've noticed with the Goldens, they really there's no it seems like they have no issues with dominance or whatever. Like they will take turns being the one on the back. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
see two Goldens go at it. Like one will lay down, let the other fucking get the upper hand, then the other one will lay down, let the other get the upper hand.
yeah, they're very congenial with that kind of stuff. They don't. It takes a lot to get a golden retriever to get super mad. Like you probably have to hit their human,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
physically, like attack their human or something.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what they do then. Most likely they would actually,
I think they would.
but it's
They
actually
would
kind
do
of
what they had
questionable.
to. I think. I don't think there would be too much question about
Yeah,
that.
probably. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, probably.
I don't remember what kind of dog
But
it
I've
was,
also
but if
heard
you
people
see, I'm
say,
sure you've
like,
seen the
they
video,
attack, they
right?
might bark.
So there's a video where like a kid is out playing on the grass, and then suddenly the one of the dogs he's playing with runs over and knocks the kid over and stands over top of him. And then you see a dog from the neighborhood come in and start coming after the kid, like, and then the dog that's protecting the kid, like, fucking takes off after the other dog and
Yeah.
chases it away real quick. Yeah. I don't remember if that was a golden.
Yeah,
or not, but
it's
I
the
could
one
see
where
that
it's like,
being like the
it's
behavior of a
in.
golden, because that seems like
Yeah, a
something they
kid
would
for
do.
sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like if it was their human, they would definitely be like, "No, fuck that, I'm in." Sure.
Mhm. Yeah, they'd definitely be like barking and shit. I just don't know if they'd actually attack. Yeah, with a kid, I can see it for sure. Yeah,
I think it would depend on the level of threat too.
super friendly with kids. Yeah, yeah.
Like that was the kind of threat where it's like very, very clearly that other dog intended
Yeah.
serious harm to the child. Like that, you
Yeah,
could
that
tell
was
immediately there
terrifying,
was
dude.
no playing around in that. that dog was gonna fucking bite that kid. Like, there's no doubt. I don't think anybody who saw that could even justify any sort of like other explanation there.
Yeah, that was not a friendly tail wag approach. It was definitely not a friendly tail waggy approach.
That would be a tough sell if you were in court and you were trying to be like, no, we just wanted to be friends. I think most people would be like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna buy that one. Oh man. Yeah, that was a terrifying video to watch. You're right. That was. I don't like kids, but I don't hate them that much. I don't want them to get fucking mauled by dogs.
Yeah. Alright. Let's see if this is the one I'm thinking of. What the fuck? Suddenly my internet doesn't work.
Oh no. What did you do? What did you do?
Oh yeah, that dog is making a beeline for that kid. This one looks like the owner from the guy across the street.
Yeah.
Very
you can
rednecky
tell
looking.
It was, and the owner
Dog
kind of
just got
comes
away.
over and he can barely get control of the dog, and you're just like, dude, holy shit, that kid came close to death and destruction there for a second. You know, like that was almost all she wrote for that little kid. Because that dog is easily big enough to fucking end that kid's fucking existence for sure.
Yeah, the German Shepherd literally knocks the kid down to get him safe, and then goes after the dog.
Yep, yeah, exactly. It was,
Another dog comes out
it was
too.
so
It's
well
like,
done. Because there were two dogs that the kid was playing with. You can see the other dog comes in pretty shortly thereafter. And it was so, like, insane how quickly that dog was just like, all right, got the kid, you go over there, flank, all right, now I'm going to go back in because I got the kid because it's on the run. And it was just like fucking military precision from that fucking dog. It's almost as good as the one where the cat fights the dog
German
off.
Shepherds for sure. That's the one I was looking for too.
Yeah, because that little
so
cat just goes fucking bonkers on the dog, and you're like, damn, cat. It was very impressive. That
Let me
cat.
see if I can find that one, because that was crazy. Because that is amazing. That the fucking cat managed to scare it off. Because the dog's kind of coming out of nowhere, if I remember correctly. The dog's kind of coming out of nowhere, and then the cat comes out of nowhere and fucking scares a much bigger dog off.
Oh yeah, that dog was like, that dog did not know who he was fucking with. That cat was like, no, we don't play games here, motherfucker. It was like, clearly you've made a mistake, small animal, or fucking dog. Like, that's not gonna work here.
Puppy. Alright, my dog finally, the grand puppy, it looks like he's chilled out a little bit. He's still staring at the cat, but he at least laid down. He's not barking at it.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the cat.
Made his peace with the fact that there's a cat there and he can't go get to it.
Yeah. If the kitty comes over, you can play with him, but you gotta be chill. Be a little more leash. I know, puppy. I know. It's terrible you can't hang out with him. All right. Oh shit, the dog actually was dragging the kid. Wow. I forgot about that. Yeah, this one, the dog that came around the SUV
the dog got a
the
piece
kid
of that
off.
kid. Yeah, oh yeah, that was scary as fuck. 'Cause
Yeah.
that dog was clearly meaning to fucking do some harm that day. Like, I think you'd be hard pressed to prove anything else.
Yeah, there's a cat, dude. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's gotta be the one.
Yeah, and the cat just comes out of nowhere and is like, "Rah!" Fucking takes the dog down hard.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's a decent sized dog, man. Jesus.
Yeah, it's
Although, yeah,
impressive
cats
that the
definitely
cat
have
was
an
able to
advantage.
get the dog to go away. I was genuinely like watching that video. It's just a genuine moment of like, that's fucking. You know what? It's a hell of a cat. Like a much
Yeah.
respect to that cat, because that ain't like that ain't a joke right there. That's a serious situation.
Oak. Leave the kitty alone. Alright, I clearly should not have given the dog more fucking slack on the leash.
Oh,
Oak,
did
leave
not
the
work
kitty
out the way you
alone.
wanted. Dog
Yeah,
is
well, he's not
too-
barking or anything, but he definitely moved as close to it as he could. Leave the kitty alone, Luke. Leave the kitty alone. Leave no kitty cat. Leave the kitty cat alone. Leave it.
Oh man. Oh, what about that kid thing? The one where you were like, this is a tough one to watch because the kid had to like turn on his own father or whatever for the murder thing. Where his
Yeah.
dad
Did
murdered
you watch
his
that or
mom.
no?
That was
Leave it.
yeah, I was only like a 20-minute one.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of that like crime stuff as of late, so that was like kind of right along with a lot of the stuff I've also been watching. And,
Yeah, I watched a lot of those lately too. Leave it, Luke. Leave it.
I was
Because
impressed
everyone
by
in
that
the town
kid.
pretty much. Yeah, he really fucking stayed after it, dude. He knew like enough not to tip his dad off, but like every day he'd go to school and like go to the principal and be like, I need to talk to the fucking sheriff or whatever.
The detective.
And even the people in the department, even the fucking people, the other cops in the department were like telling him to fucking leave it alone.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
he
I
wouldn't.
was
He's like,
literally
no,
talking to somebody about this, sort of not that specific thing, but like that sort of principle, where there's,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, there's certain positions where like people seem to think it makes you like better than a normal human. Where it
Yeah.
just doesn't make any
They're
sense.
like, look,
It's
there's
like,
no real evidence of it, so leave it alone. Like, and they don't even care that, like,
and it's
dude,
like
this
just
guy's own
'cause
kid
that guy's a
thinks he killed his
doctor
mom.
doesn't mean he,
He killed my wife.
why would this kid be making this up? Like, that just didn't make any sense to me. It was like,
Yeah, yeah. And they were clearly like, I didn't know the bitch, and he's a really well-known doctor, so
yeah, he's popular doctor
You know.
in town kind of thing, yeah. But that
Nobody
was like
wants to
the
bother
70s, though, so that was
Yeah.
the thing.
yeah.
That's why, like, my grandfather on my mom's side got away with all the shit he did. Was because he was a doctor.
Wow.
You know, it's hard
No
to...
shit.
It's hard to... at that point in time, it was very not done to
Yeah, it was
question
almost
doctors.
unfathomable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like unfathomable
Yeah,
that
would
they
not
might
have
be an
they would have
asshole or a
assumed
fucking
you were making it
psychopath
up.
like
Yeah,
that.
you were making it up. You must be. You know, this isn't a well-known, popular doctor. You know, you couldn't possibly be. You couldn't possibly
I
be
suppose,
right.
yeah, by now there's been so many examples of people that seem totally fucking normal and even completely benevolent in their public life that turn out to be just total fucking psychopaths that people understand. Or, I think it's probably still an issue to a certain degree, just not nearly as bad. Because it's still kind of hard for people, I think, to be like, well, he seems so nice.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know. So did fucking John Wayne Gacy or fucking, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Ted
Yep.
Bundy. Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, they all seem like such nice guys. Oh, they were so quiet.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Yeah.
always such a quiet
You're
guy.
so
I don't know what
quiet,
you
I'm
mean.
just
It's
doing
like, nah, he's
Yeah.
a sick fuck with fucking human skin lamps in his fucking room, Like, y'all ought to be a little more concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, Ed Gein. Ed Gein was one of the ones I was thinking of too. I wasn't sure if you were familiar with Ed Gein or not.
I'm pretty familiar with most of the, well, not most of, but quite a few of the really, really well-known uh, serial killers.
Yeah, he was one
you
of the
know.
more well-known. You're not.
You know,
Yeah,
there's like
he's not
there's
quite
some
up
that
there
like
with like
everybody kind
Gacy
of
and fucking
knows.
Ted
You
Bundy.
know, and he's one of those ones that like everybody's heard
Yeah,
of that guy.
yeah,
He's so fucked up. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein,
yeah.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, I think Ed Gein is like, you might not remember the name, but you remember the guy that had like the farm where he was making fucking shit out of their skin and bones and whatever. Like making
Oh, I was
furniture and
talking
lampshades and
about
shit.
John Wayne Gacy's little like area in his house where he had all the human skin furniture.
Yeah,
You
did
knew
he? I didn't
about
think
that,
Gacy
right?
did that. I thought Ed
No,
Gein,
yeah.
he had,
He's the killer clown, right? John
no.
Wayne Gacy?
no, I know Ed Gein made. Yeah, yeah.
John
No,
Wayne
I thought he
Gacy had
just
like a
buried them all
lamp
in
and
his
a
fucking
chair
closet
that
or whatever.
had human skin on it.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. Let me
Shit.
Google that shit and make sure.
Yeah, well, I know Ed Gein was the one that had like the farm out in the middle of nowhere. Took all his victims and would make again lampshades and all that kind of crazy shit out of parts of the women that he killed. Gacy might have done it too, but I wasn't familiar with him doing that. I thought he just buried them all. I thought he just like raping and killing young boys.
No, I just get Ed Gein. Maybe I got it mixed up.
Yeah, I mean it could have been both. There's probably been more than one.
No, I think I must have gotten it
serial
mixed
killer
up.
that decided.
Oh, no. There was like pictures of him with like a clown lamp or something, and never mind. I think I got him mixed up. In my head, I somehow combined the two. My bad. Well, there you go. You know, I want to.
But yeah, Ed Gein is a good example of that.
Ed Gein, you're right.
The
That
type
guy
they're
was
like, oh, he's seen just flying, assuming.
What was the serial? There was one. I don't think it was in the U.S. I think it was actually in Europe somewhere. There was one where the reason they managed to catch the guy was he kept a collection of shoes.
Leave it.
And like,
Leave it.
he wouldn't have got. So like, there was a guy. It was in Europe, and he killed a fuck ton of people on a pig farm. Right. And like. The reason they caught him was because he had kept their shoes, and he had a giant fucking collection of shoes. And they finally figured out he must have killed like 100 people or something. And he just had gotten away with it for so long, you know, like they just didn't do anything. It was like really fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that
shit.
is. Well, they usually keep. They usually keep some kind of trophies from their victims, right?
Oh
like
yeah, for masturbatory
standard
purposes. Yeah, usually. It's
Leave
like
it.
they can relive the murder and they get off on it. You get some sexually aroused usually.
Oh wow, okay. Like even if they just keep like their IDs, like some of them just keep IDs or weird shit like that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing is what they do is they use the whatever the keepsake is, whatever it is, they'll just hold on to it while they masturbate usually, because then they can relive the murder and fantasize about that kind of stuff. Which I'm
it's like some kind of connection.
I like I feel kind of gross that I know that much, because that whole idea is like that's kind of fucking gross.
Standard. It's a pretty standard thing, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also I used to watch that Criminal Minds a bunch of times.
Yeah,
while Criminal Minds is obviously fiction, it was based on real serial killers, so like the behaviors and the stuff that they talk about in the show are actually things that happened. Oh man. Yeah. Criminal Minds is the one where you find out like what white people are best at, being serial killers. Because through the whole show, it's like 99.9% of the killers in the show are white people, and you're like, that can't be true. And you look up the statistics, and you're like, Wow, we murder a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
people.
pretty accurate.
We kill a lot of random people. White people
Yeah.
are kind of dangerous.
Yeah, we get away with it for a long time too. Oh,
Oh
shit.
yeah, there's a lot of one of the things is serial killers in general are really hard to catch because normally there's some sort of connection between the killer and the victim. Like the killer killed the
There's
victim
motive.
because of
Yeah.
X. You know, like they slept with his wife, or she was gonna leave him and take the kids, or whatever like weird shit is going on. There's always a reason for it. Serial killers, the reason is my dick doesn't get hard if I don't murder somebody.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard to figure out,
Yeah, and it's usually just a target of opportunity. Like there's no real connection.
Yeah.
Other than this person was walking alone, so I fucking grabbed him
and it's
and raped him and
amazing
killed him or whatever.
how many people will just fucking not follow the directions given to keep them safe from the serial killers. Like, cause like the Green River Killer, like they figured out like how the person
when
was
there's an
picking out
active
his
one being
victims,
talked about.
and they're like, oh, you just make sure you're never alone, make sure your windows and doors are always locked when you're home, especially if you're by yourself. Don't answer the door if it's not somebody you know, like all that kind of stuff. And people were still getting caught up by this person,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it seems to be, well, that'll never happen to me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's what all the other victims thought too, you fucking retard. Yeah.
So sad. 'Cause it's just like,
Yeah.
didn't have to happen. Oh, man. Oh, okay, let's see. What other ones? We had a whole bunch of shit in the Discord this time, I think. Had a lot of stuff with the DA.
Yeah.
Oh, you posted the cat and the dog video? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the one I was watching the faith leader. I'm like, why do we fucking care what this clown thinks? I only put it in there because this guy looks ridiculous. Like, how does nobody around you tell you how? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But he's got the
he
throat
looks like a
scooped out and
cartoon
he's got this
character.
weird
He doesn't
fucking
look real.
knotted- Yeah. Okay, it wasn't just me. I was wondering. I'm like, maybe I'm the asshole here, but
No.
that guy seems like he looks ridiculous. Like, I would laugh at him if I saw him in public.
There's a guy I watch all the time right now who does Sandwiches of History. And he looks like a fucking cartoon character too. Like, I swear to Christ. I don't know if there's probably a video if you scroll up high enough. Because he's had a couple of famous people on. I remember he had a football player on that I put a video of him up there with. Because I didn't know if you would know that football player or not. Because I didn't, obviously, no idea who that football player was.
Yeah, I didn't. I did
that
not know
guy-
who that was. Yeah.
That guy looks like a fucking cartoon as well. Like, he just has like the like central casting high school teacher from an 80s movie. Let me see if I can.
Is it the Sandwiches of History guy?
Yep, Sandwiches of History. That
Is
guy.
that the literally name of it?
Yep, Sandwiches of History. He just every single day makes some random sandwich from some
that
ancient cookbook, and it's just very entertaining. It's like a minute or two.
Dude,
It's
he's
kind of
got
like
the
Sausage
pot belly.
Guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he
Glasses.
teaches math.
Right? Like he looks exactly like a
he
math
looks like a
teacher at a
math
central
teacher.
casting. It's like your guy is like
Yeah, he's
the
got
fucking,
the pot belly with the shirt tucked in around it.
Yeah, he's
He even tucked his shirt in, dude.
he's the fucking nerd. Like, when he was a child, he was the nerd in school, right? Like, he's probably making good money now.
Yeah.
Because usually, like, the nerd went on to make, like, really good money in computers or something. But, I mean, he's like...
Yeah, definitely.
He would be perfect for Hollywood. Like, if he'd wanted to be, he could have been, not, like, the main character in any film, but a character in, like, 5 billion fucking movies.
Yeah.
Like, every
any-
thing where there was
any
going to be a high
teacher
school
role.
teacher, they would have been like, yeah, dude, do you want in? Because we're good. Like, you're in, you're 100%.
Yeah.
And then if you watch one of those videos,
teacher
the way
role,
he
or just
talks,
any nerd role, really.
and if you watch the videos, like, any role would have worked because the way he talks just is exactly like what you would expect. And I almost wonder if it's a bit
fun.
like for YouTube or something. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Because it's just like,
Right.
I don't think it is, but it's just
It does. Yeah, just looking at it.
It's just so well.
Just looking at it, it does seem deliberate.
Yeah, like he
why do you have
knew
the fucking
he was the
tucked-in shirt
nerd,
for
and
this?
he was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna be the fucking nerd all the way. Like I'm not gonna like try to be the cool guy, be the nerd that looks like he's trying to be cool and it's not working. I'm gonna go 100% nerd. You know. Which
yeah, just
much
embrace
respect,
it.
in my opinion, for that. You know,
I don't know.
You're not going to look cool when you're born looking like that. You're never going to look like the awesome, cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, why is he bothering to tuck in his shirt? Like, that's not really a thing anymore. You know what I mean? Like, even a polo shirt or any of that shit. Nobody tucks their fucking shirts in anymore. I mean, 30 years ago, I think that stopped like at least 20, 30 years ago. Where, you have to tuck in your shirt or whatever.
Well, I was 20, so yeah, about 20 years ago, I was going to say, in my 20s, I worked at Safeway, and they were really, like, dude, you got to have your shirt tucked in. Like, you had to wear a polo shirt.
Yeah.
And it had to be tucked in, and you had to have your apron on and stuff. And I want to say that's the last time I ever heard anything like that, where you're like, oh, that's super important, tuck your shirt in, kind of bullshit. Because I don't think anybody cares now. I think it's pretty common to just be like, no, just let the shirt hang loose. It's not a big deal. Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's why I think it'd be deliberate. Because why the fuck else would you fucking accent your fucking pot belly, your weird fucking pot belly?
I think he realized early on what he was going to look like, and was just like, this is just there's no escape. Like I'm going to
embrace it.
I'm going to embrace it and go all the way 100%.
I'm not going to try to look fuck.
Yeah, like if you put a leather jacket and sunglasses on that guy, he would just look desperate and sad, right? Even though it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just the reality of it.
Right. Yeah.
Like we all know that's a fucked up, way of looking at it, but we all know that that's just, unfortunately, that's just how it is.
Yeah, if you look at that guy, it's not surprising that he's a really obsessive about one thing. In this case, being sandwiches. You know what I mean? Like, this guy was going to be super obsessive about something. And it happened to be sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And his videos are great, by the way. Like, I would 100% recommend watching his videos.
Yeah.
They are hilarious.
Because I thought you were talking about the binging with Babish guy, but he just does more of like.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not. Not at all talking about binging with Babish.
Better in TV shows and shit. Yeah, I like what he does too. But his is more like, hey, this TV show had this, or the guy that does like, hey, here's every Bob's Burgers burger. Or the Brood Witch was the best one because it's one of my favorite. The Brood Witch is like one of like my favorite episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and he made the fucking Brood Witch sandwich. I fucking love that.
Oh, I never watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Like he went all out.
I did not catch on.
Dude.
I heard they really fucked over all the voice actors from it, though.
Yeah, that's.
Like one of them died. Like
actually, I just heard that.
Yeah, it's just recently it's been coming out. I think it hasn't been.
Nothing, dude.
I think it hasn't been common knowledge for a while yet. I think it's just starting to kind of like make the rounds of the news, and I would assume that all the typical outrage farmers are going to start making videos talking about it now. Probably connecting it to whatever political side they're on. Like it was the other side, not my side.
But yeah, apparently they really got fucked over. Yeah, I wonder if they were just too clueless.
That was the thing I was questioning. Was like is
John
it a case
Benjamin,
where they
like
signed bad
Warburton.
contracts? Because I'm a lot less sympathetic about that. Because if you're in Hollywood, there's
exactly.
attorneys on every fucking corner who you can pay to go over your contracts and tell you whether or not it's a fair deal pretty easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, would I gotta assume that John Benjamin and like Patrick Warburton are two of the main ones I'm thinking of. I assume they knew better than to sign shitty contracts. But yeah, it seems like some of those people must have just been like, no, I didn't bother with a lawyer. I figured they were paying me. You know, it's just voiceover work. So, you know what I mean?
That's
They
what I
figured
was
they
kind of
getting
thinking.
paid
Was
way
they
less.
they just assumed like, oh, you know, it's not going to be a big deal. This is going to be some random cartoon I'm doing. So I'm getting more than enough for, you know, a couple $100 a session. And they were happy to take it and signed off on all the paperwork. And it's just like,
Yeah, like didn't bother with any residuals or fees or any of that shit that normally there would be at least kind of a little bit of action on. I'm trying to find just a picture of the Brood Witch from the show. That is... Alright, yeah, that works. The Brood Witch. Yeah, I assume a few people had done it. But yeah, Benjamin Babish was definitely one of the... Jesus Christ, dude. There we go. Alright, my phone's deciding to freak the fuck out. It's nice.
always fun.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Alright. There
I
we
have
go.
zombies follow me around for the next 10 minutes.
Alright. There. I saw a picture of I got a picture from the show. And then the
Oh, yeah. I watched the
thumbnail
Brood Witch.
from
I
the-
thought that was a clever little thing he was doing. I know because, like, you were, like, very, very, like, you gotta watch this. This is amazing. It's the best sandwich ever.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's my favorite episode. Show. But that was definitely my favorite episode.
Yeah, I just like, there's certain, like, I like the smaller cooking channels. I feel like the bigger the channel gets, the more kind of shitty filler content you end up with, where they're just doing something because it's sponsored. Whether or not they're saying it, because I don't think that YouTubers are honest all the time about who is and isn't sponsoring them. I don't for a second believe that.
Yeah. They definitely bullshit a lot of times, dude.
Because there's a number of times when they'll be like, yeah, this trademark, you know, and you're like, like, you seem kind of in love with this product all of a sudden that you've never spoken of before.
Okay. Yeah, you seem oddly enthusiastic in a way you're really not for some of your other videos.
Yeah.
So. All right,
Like,
buddy.
what
Not
was one of my
sponsored.
favorites was, there was this, Ro or something. Her name is, like, Ro. Everybody calls her Ro. I don't know. Because it's been so long since I watched her channel, I just don't know what, like, the channel is or anymore, and I just don't have any interest in, like, watching her shit anymore. But, like,
Right.
her early videos, like, it was a lot of fun. She's very casual, very, like, relaxed. She would, make mistakes all the time and just, like, show you how to fix those mistakes if you made them yourself. It's kind of like, hey, you know, this is what can happen when you're doing this. Check this out. This is what I'm going to do now that I've made the mistake. And it was very clearly very organic. It wasn't like an intentionally made mistake. You know, where like she
Yeah,
wanted to demonstrate like a cool little life hack number 542. You know, like that kind of bullshit. Wasn't none of that. And then like she got really well known, and then suddenly all of her content was like fucking Martha Stewart style, and it was just like, oh fuck it, I'm out. This is gross now.
Yeah. This is obviously just overproduced.
Yeah,
she's
wearing like
kind of
super, like tons of makeup, and now she's, you know, she's got, what do you call it, that weird, like I'm pretty sure she got some plastic surgery at some point, because she's got that weird face that doesn't look right. Like your skin ain't fitted on your bones the correct way anymore, because you've done fucked something up. You know, and it's probably like Botox or something. It's not like I don't think she got anything cut and stretched yet. But she's got that sort of like weird,
something unnatural,
puffy, weird puffy, saggy skin.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where it's like, this is fucking gross. I don't want to watch it anymore.
Yeah, it's like when you realize Nancy Pelosi is fucking years old, she's obviously had a ridiculous amount of fucking work done.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when you make $4 million every 3 or 4 months in insider trading, it's really easy to afford plastic surgery, you know? You can get some plastic surgery, and it definitely works better for you that way. God damn it, are all the
Sorry, she's only 84.
Only 84?
Jesus
wow.
Christ. Yeah. Dude, what the fuck, man?
She's only 84 years old, but in terms of the monster that she is, she's ageless.
Yeah. Yeah, she's packed in enough evil for like 4 lifetimes.
Yeah. What was it? I watched Tucker Carlson on Joe Rogan. And first and foremost, I think you're going to have beef with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has 2 dogs that he mentioned. He has a golden retriever and a French bulldog, and he says by far the French bulldog is the cuter dog.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and he also thinks Bert Kreischer and Brendan Schaub are funny. So there's some shit that I just don't really heed his opinion on.
That's actually a very, very good point. Like, it's kind of hard to argue that one. It's like, he thinks those guys are funny. That's kind of tough to take his opinion after that. Because Bert Kreischer,
I don't really care.
If you're a 12-year-old, I can see getting his jokes. Like, they're like a frat boy or something, which is what makes him so sad to us, because we're like, he's past the age where that's okay.
He's still like that.
Like, it's time to not be that guy anymore, and it's not cute or funny. It's kind of sad and depressing.
I'll just see. Hold on, let me see. 51. He's fucking 51 years old, and he's still like mentally frat boy age.
Oh wow, that's
fucking.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah. Although apparently, they did some kind of weird episode recently where they're talking stuff that annoys everybody.
Oh yeah.
Like Bert's fucking fake fucking squeal laugh or whatever the fuck he does.
Oh yeah.
On embellishing stories. Yeah. Apparently their Patreon or whatever, something took a hit because they were actually like, all right, we're not doing this anymore. So.
Really, they stopped doing the fake laugh thing?
Yeah, they said they are. I doubt they actually will. And Segura, I guess, said he's going to stop talking about the pores because he started literally saying shit like that because they're flexing about all the shit they own.
Oh my god, really? I didn't even know. I stopped watching them. Like, they just stopped being funny after a while. It was just like,
Segura.
Oh yeah, no, Segura was always funny.
Yeah, before he got like famous. Yeah, he was definitely funny early on before he fell in love with himself or whatever.
Yeah. It's a shame.
So that's
how it goes. People's egos get in their way a lot. It's story old as time, really.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. Dude, how about the guy that killed the pedo, dude? In jail?
Oh, that I put the thing of him up there? The video of him being like, yeah, I did.
Yeah. He's like,
That's
yeah,
what I
God's
did.
the ultimate judge. I just set up the appointment. I'm like, God damn, that's a great line. Jesus Christ.
Well, I like the way he said, because like I was like, okay, you can't just murder people you don't like. That's not okay. Even I understand like why he did it. Like I'm certainly like
Yeah. Yeah.
wouldn't say no to doing that myself in his place. But you know, I was like, oh, you can't. But then he's like, and then he sat there and he tried to justify this shit to me, and he wouldn't shut the fuck up when I told him to, and I was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'm on his side now. Like, all right, like I was gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
you can't just murder people you don't like because they're gross or whatever. But after that, it was like, I get it. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and how do you not know, as a pedo going in, that you're not going to be very popular with the other inmates?
Well, here's the thing.
And you're going to
you're
bring
not
it up
supposed to
and then
fucking tell
fucking not
anyone.
shut the fuck up about it.
You're not supposed to tell
Yeah.
anyone. Like, they tell you.
Yeah.
I'm sure they tell the guy early on, like, don't fucking
Yeah, make something
out
else
yourself,
up. Like
make
kill the
something
cop or
up.
something.
You know, like there's all sorts of shit, but they do not want
I think
you.
they end up finding out.
Well,
But
here's
yeah,
the thing.
'cause
So
they're usually not in the general population. They're usually in a separate wing, dude.
so here's what happens. Everybody's in Gen Pop, right? Like the majority of people is in Gen Pop. They're in prison. There's not a whole lot to do. There's not a whole lot to do. And they know, just as we all know, that there's pedophiles going to prison, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just a standard thing. You got to have your papers. So when you get convicted and you get sent to prison, you get a set of papers saying what you got convicted for, and they give them to you. Right? They just hand you your papers, and you get to keep them in your cell or whatever when you go in. And so,
pretty easy to snoop on it.
Most
by your
people who
cellmate.
are not pedophiles are more than happy to show their papers when they go to prison. They're like, "Oh yeah, sure, check my papers out. I'm not no fucking kid toucher. I don't got nothing to hide. You know, I was a burglar. I was a strong arm guy.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Like whatever they did, they're happy to share because like depending on what kind of criminal you are, you might get treated better by the other people in your fucking in the prison. Like they may actually treat you nicely because they think, oh, I might need to get help from this guy or something, or I might want to plan something with this dude in the future.
Yeah.
So what happens is these people get into prison and then they don't show their papers, and everybody in prison is like, well, we fucking know why.
Oh,
and
so
then
you're
they, skin you in the middle of the fucking night when no one else is around. Like that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people who would, think that that's wrong or whatever. I don't know, man. I got no problem with I would prefer that they just get executed before that even has to happen, because I don't feel like somebody who's in prison should have to spend more time in prison because of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's the state should do it so that the inmates don't have to fucking go to jail for longer.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is not the most popular of opinions.
Yeah, I still don't understand. Yeah, well, dude, I'm sure I don't understand how the pedo didn't think to just shut the fuck up. Like, you're in prison.
You would think the
know
first
how
time the guy said,
there's no fucking way.
You would think that the first time the guy said,
shut the fuck up about it. And
we know what you are. You need to find somewhere else to be tomorrow. Don't fucking talk to me anymore.
Yeah, he literally said.
You would just not talk anymore.
Yeah, you need to find another fucking cell and shut up about it. And then he starts talking again. He says, shut the fuck up about it. And then you still go on trying to justify, like, molesting kids or whatever. Yeah. Not saying you should have killed him, but I understand.
Yeah, well,
like the Chris Rock when he's
I
talking
think he
about
should have.
OJ. I'm not saying
I'm
shit.
glad he did, but
But I
it's
understand.
I feel bad for him because he's going to get more time for it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I'm of the opinion that
yeah,
like if
yeah.
you
No, everybody
actually
in the
like
comments is like,
molest a
good for them.
small child, like it's not like you're in your mid 20s or mid 30s and you start hooking up with like a 16-year-old, which is gross and nasty, and yeah, maybe you deserve some time for that. But if you're actually messing around with somebody like under 12 and you're an adult, like yeah, that should be an execution.
Yeah, yeah,
Like no
yeah.
question.
That's definitely. I'd be okay with the one strike and you're out.
Yeah, because it's like that's
Yeah,
somebody who
especially
you
because
just
the
can't.
recidivism rate is so fucking high.
Exactly.
Like
You
it's
can't let that
yeah,
person keep existing, and like the odds are really really high that they're going to go out and reoffend. Like it just is.
yeah,
It's just unfortunate. So it's like
yeah. I'd be like, I'm sorry, you might have been one of the ones that didn't reoffend, but sorry, you got to die with the rest. Fuck you.
well, I also feel like there's certain crimes that shouldn't be forgiven. You know, not
Yeah,
everything. Not everything
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Oh, well,
Like I
you
said,
spent some time in
I
jail
have
and you're
all
fine.
the
Like I don't think murderers should ever be
yeah.
released. Like I'm kind of like I don't feel like that should. I think any kind of murder should be. Well, I don't know. That I suppose it depends on the situation, but I mean any kind of like premeditated murder should automatically be an execution. There should be
Yeah,
no option
yeah,
for like life in prison. If you thought about it before you did it and you went out and did it anyway, I think that should be all they wrote.
yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, for something like that, it's like Jesus, dude. Like I have all the sympathy. Someone who's afflicted with that has that attraction, is
And
up
just
until they actually act on it.
don't get
That's when the
involved
fucking
with
sympathy
anybody.
completely
They're not.
disappears.
Yeah, they're not out there messing around with kids. They're just minding their own fucking business.
Yeah, yeah. They fucking know it's wrong and don't fucking offend. But yeah, we should die because you're probably going to reoffend when you get out. Yeah, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but I know they're insanely high. About them reoffending within a year or two or fucking whatever.
Makes sense, yeah.
Dude, how about that fucking superintendent bitch that was all pissed off about the softball team not cheering enough for her daughter
Yeah,
when
that
she got
was
her MVP
weird,
award or whatever?
man.
Dude.
That was really
Yeah, and that's
strange.
just a shitty little fucking. I was looking it up. Like Poway is like Poway, whatever it is. It's like an inland. It's in San Diego County, but it's like inland. It's like less than 50,000 people. Like that little nugget of power you got as a superintendent, you fucking abuse like that. That's insane. And the fact that you thought it was okay to be calling kids up, other students at all, outside of the school, at fucking like midnight. Like what the fuck is wrong
Well,
with
here's
you,
the
bitch?
thing. I'm sure there's reasons for school officials to be calling or contacting students outside of school, and that's fine. But doing it in the middle of the night and without the parents being aware of it—that's the part that made it weird. As long as if you're doing that at midnight and with the parents unaware, and you're calling these students and you're not talking to their parents at all, that's fucking weird and creepy. That should have been a firing offense right there.
Yeah.
Like,
even if it was an actual
person there after that,
legitimate concern,
peace
and
out.
not just that they didn't clap loud enough for your daughter.
Yeah, that was really fucking weird.
Yeah, it's so inappropriate, dude. I'm like, dude, it's like, wow, some people just can't be trusted with any kind of authority.
Yeah. Oh, it's really sad, man. It's so
Crazy,
sad how
dude.
many people there are
She
out
like
there.
just being the superintendent of some fucking just a superintendent of some shitty little town. Like probably one of the least known towns in fucking San Diego County. You know,
Yeah.
went mad with her fucking power and just abused the hell out of it.
Well, and
For such a
you know
petty
what I really
fucking
feel
reason,
bad for,
dude.
though? Ultimately, I feel really, really bad for the daughter. And, like, I understand that the daughter got up and testified in her mom's favor and said, oh, these
Yeah,
people were all
testified for
terrible
her.
to me and all that stuff. But it's like, that's all learned behavior. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
that daughter could have
Like,
turned out
hopefully she'll figure
perfectly
out pretty
fine
quickly.
if the mom hadn't been such a fucking psycho. And it's not really like,
Yeah, hadn't told her how entitled.
yeah, exactly, like
Yeah, that kind of entitlement.
Yeah,
you fucking learn.
That's definitely one of those ones that I thought was really sad because it's like,
So there's hopefully time for fire this bitch. Because again, it seems from what I understood, they had all that evidence of her contacting them and fucking had a half an hour phone call at fucking midnight with one of them.
yeah,
Like, I don't know how the fuck that. Yeah, because again, there was like 10 girls that she literally banned from the team during their senior year. Their last opportunity to be playing high school softball or whatever. We're not allowed on the team because of this.
yeah. Oh yeah, that was the really sad part. Was those poor? It took so long for those poor kids to
Yeah.
what do you call it, to get everything figured out so that they actually got like what do you call it,
Yeah, 'cause it
reinstated
seemed
in
like there was
their classes and stuff like that, because they were kicked out for, or not their classes, their sports and stuff. They had to sue the school. Like, it's like, man, why those kids got to sue the school? They didn't.
But now they
do
graduated.
shit, you know.
Yeah, the ones that were seniors going in the next year didn't get to play their senior year, man. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy because again, I don't think there was any new evidence a year and a half later. I mean, I assume all the evidence was there from the start. So it really took like the public uproar before they actually did anything about it.
Yeah.
And they should have fucking canned the bitch, you know, almost immediately.
Oh yeah, that was the part that was.
So yeah, I assume they have a
like
fucking. I don't see how they don't win the lawsuit.
Oh yeah, I think it's a fair to middling chance that that's a slam dunk of a case. I think it would be very unlikely for her to walk away.
Yeah, or even the school district, because again, all those fucking, you know, all that evidence.
Oh yeah,
was there
they
from
should
the
all be
beginning.
fired.
And they
I
still
would
didn't do
definitely
shit about
say
it.
that would be that would definitely be like fire those people.
Yeah, because they're like, oh yeah, now you know, now that it became like a much bigger issue and a lot more people learned about it. Now you unanimously vote her out. Like, yeah, it's way too fucking late. Fuck all of you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts.
Man, just imagine being the kid, because like I got harassed a little bit by one of my school staff members when I was in high school.
Oh, really?
But it was funny. It wasn't like wrong or anything. It was genuinely like entertaining, and I kind of deserved it. Did you ever watch an animated show called The Animaniacs?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. You remember
I love that
there
show,
was
dude.
the little sister Dot?
Yeah.
And there were like all these, or no, it was Dot. I think it might have been a different girl, but there was a thing where this one of the girls in there would be talking on the phone, and then she would always sign off with, "Okay, I love you, lady. Bye bye." Right? I don't know if you remember.
Oh, right.
So
Not that specifically, but
there was, okay, well, I remember because of this situation. So I thought it was funny to fucking say that when I hung up the phone and I was talking to people that I knew. But I had unfortunately, because I was a kid in high school, not realizing it, made that into a habit.
Ah.
So, so me, got a call from the lady in the office, and she was like, "Hey, you know, we need you to stop by when you come in and fill out some sort of paperwork or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem. I'll do that when I get there." "Okay, I love you, lady. Bye bye." And then hung up the phone, and then went, "Oh, sweet fucking Jesus, what did I just fucking say?" And then she proceeded to just fucking rake me for the rest of the, like, every once in a while she'd fuck with me, you know, just because she was like, this fucking kid. And yeah, it was very, very unfair in my opinion. But I mean, obviously, I was fucking. It was funny because I was.
Yeah.
I kind of deserved it.
Oh man. Yeah, but as a kid, you're kind of like, what the fuck? But now when you look back, you're kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I, you know, to be fair, honestly, I don't have any issues with it. I didn't really, I kind of was like, even when it happened, I was kind of like, I fucking said it. It was my fault. I shouldn't have fucking said it. So.
Right. Yeah. No, I would occasionally answer the phone like I was at work, like when I worked at the Mexican food restaurant here. I would occasionally answer the phone at home. Little sombrero.
Oh no.
I would say that. Yeah, like not even being funny, like literally just doing it and be like, "Oh fuck, I'm sorry. I mean, hello."
Well, I feel better now. That's for sure.
So yeah, like that in your head. You're doing some shit without thinking on occasion. Up.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you're not careful,
yeah,
it's really
it's stuck in your head. It's gonna come out in weird.
Easy to do by accident.
Yeah, it would be nice if we were totally cognizant of what we're doing at all times and could avoid kind of shit. But that happens.
Yep, that's I didn't, you know, she wasn't super bad about it. She was pretty she you know, she gave me shit, but it wasn't anything like ridiculous.
Yeah,
so,
it wasn't over the top. It wasn't like the harassment levels. So yeah, no, I'm giving this kid shit every once in a while about this. It's pretty funny though.
But it was my own fault because, like, you know, I got no excuse for that. That was me being a dumbass.
Well, I assume it wasn't a conscious.
Yeah, it
wasn't a conscious decision, but it happened.
It was my fault for doing it so much that it became a habit.
Yeah.
Is the way I look at it. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, I'm the one that thought it'd be funny to do it so many times to so many different people. Clearly, this was my fault. So I never objected to or was like super mad about it.
Yeah. Like I said, it sounded like she didn't quite get to like harass. So.
Oh, she was. Yeah, it was. She would do things
annoying
like,
as it might be.
You know, Mr. Burke, the president is on line 1 for you. The president is on line 1 with like the intercom system.
All right.
So she'd, you know, pretend the president called, or she'd be like, you know, call me down to the office like I was going to be in trouble but I wasn't, you know, for things that I just had to go down for regular stuff for. So it was kind of like clever. It was like, you know, when pranks were actually pranks. It was like pranks actually being pranks.
When they weren't just assaulting people.
Yeah.
They weren't just people assaulting people on camera.
Yeah, it was exactly.
Like, I pranked you. I punched you in the fucking face.
Exactly.
It's a good prank. Yeah. It really is pretty sad
Yep.
how bad the fucking prank shit has gotten
Yeah, it's like it's so
nowadays.
incredibly
Used to be
mean and aggressive
so
to a point that's just
innocent.
kind of like disturbing. You know what I mean? Like what's wrong with
Yeah.
these people that they feel like this is an
Yeah.
acceptable way to behave as like humans?
Yeah. No, it reminds me of like even Opie Anthony back in the day. You know, they were like the super edgy fucking shocks or whatever.
Oh yeah, the
Stern
shock
back in the day. Like even they, like when they did the Jocktober thing, it was like basically you had to get yourself on saying something about Opie Anthony. And they're like, yeah, we had to kind of stop that because like it was going to get to the point where somebody was just going to bias where it was heading, and they're like, all right, we're going to not do that anymore. Like somebody's going to do something really fucked up.
Oh yeah. Somebody's
And
gonna
yeah,
take it
nowadays-
too far one of these times, and it's not gonna end well.
Yeah, yeah, they're going to start assaulting people in our name. So we're going to have to shut this down. But yeah, nowadays there's like no, you know, it's just kind of a thing that's naturally happening, unfortunately, where the people just feel they got to ramp it up to be more and more outrageous.
Yeah, anything that can get them the views is essentially what it is now. It's like, oh yeah, as long as I get somebody watching me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the ends justify the means kind of fucking attitude.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah,
As
whatever.
long as I get paid,
Fucked up shit that do.
that makes it acceptable. It's just a prank, bro. Like I was watching one where the guy was trying to make it sound like he was using the hard R, but he was dressed up like a total redneck in his store. And his whole idea of a prank was,
Oh, right.
hey, you know, whatever I forget what he said to make it like nigger or something like that. Something so he wasn't technically saying the N-word. And,
Like saying knickers or something? Like
knickers or something, yeah.
knickerbockers?
He was doing something like that, but he was telling the guy, like, all right, boy, get that off of the shelf for me. Like, stuff like that. Like,
Oh, Jesus.
like telling him to get, like, the something off the shelf that he wanted to purchase.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, fun.
And it was just like, all right, I get it. This is kind of
iffy.
kind of
All right.
dumb. But it was one of those things where it's like, it's dumb, but, you know, it's okay because he got views. It's just a prank, bro. You know, like that was kind of one of those things where it was just like, it's not really that funny anymore. Like, guys, it was never that funny.
Yeah, I think Tom Mabe, do you know who Tom Mabe is? He's like comedian slash YouTube guy. He's like kind of like a southern,
I'm pretty sure I've
redneck
seen his pranks. Like he does like prank calls and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Like he seems to do it. His are pretty fucking clever and funny, and they don't really like nobody's actually in danger.
Yeah, his stuff
he
is
would do one
genuinely
where-
very amusing. Yes, he's actually funny.
Like, yeah, one of my favorite ones is where he pretends to get a phone call about like some guy whose wife he fucked or whatever, and he'd be like, "Look, I don't know if she was married. Look, I don't know," and he'd be like, "All right, well, you know what? Come down here." Start describing the clothing of somebody that was right there. I'm wearing a green shirt and the fucking blue jeans. I'm right in front of this place. Come on and get me. And then he would just hang up and like walk away.
Yeah,
the guy that he was describing would be like, "What the fuck?" There's no real danger though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's
the guy coming down to kick his ass.
obviously not real. Like there's nobody that's actually going to show up and beat the guy up. It's not, Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I've
pretty
also
fucking
watched
harmless.
one.
So,
I
yeah,
saw
shit
one
like
where
that.
he was talking to somebody on the phone at like some answering service or phone sales or something, and
Yeah, like a telemarketer. He likes to fuck with telemarketers. Yeah.
and he was like, the bit was there was a murder or something.
The crime scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
the
crime
crime
scene
scene
one.
one, yeah.
That was pretty fucking funny to me. I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Anytime you fuck with telemarketers, it's fucking pretty great.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of respect for telemarketer
fuck.
jobs. I think it's funny that people are like, you should be nicer to them. They're just doing their job. And they had a choice. They didn't have to take that job.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
they
could
can
have
get
taken
another
any one of
fucking job.
a bunch of less fucking obnoxious work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the people that work at those like call centers that are literally like in Nigeria, where they're literally just scamming old people out of their money. Yeah, like fuck them. I mean, that's even worse than telemarketers, obviously. But yeah, like fuck you. You chose this job. Fuck
Yep.
you. You're fucking scum.
Yep, I got no sympathy
Yeah,
for
telemarketer.
you.
Yeah, so get another job that, you know, is shitty. At least it's not fucking bugging people at home that didn't ask for it.
Exactly. There's a bunch of other work out there. Lots of other places are hiring. Maybe there's not a lot of other places hiring. I suppose if it's literally the only work you can find, I could kind of have some sympathy.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
you had a little more sympathy.
I'm pretty
Those,
sure
call
most of those
centers are
people
generally
could be
not located.
working. Pretty easily be working in like a fast food joint or something like that. Pretty.
Yeah, those those call centers are generally not located in small towns.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they would almost always have options.
It's almost as annoying as the it's not a real job bros.
No.
The like fast food's not a real job. It's like, but they take real money. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, they seem to be doing real work of some kind.
yeah, it's not like you'd want to go do that job, dude. Like, it's not a real job. Are you gonna go take it because it's not real work and so it's super easy? Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, those jobs suck.
Oh yeah, man. Well, and it's so insulting to be like, well, that's not a real job. They shouldn't make enough money to live off of. It's like, fucking what? And you hear this nonsense, and you're like, you realize like in the 70s you could work a job at McDonald's, pay for your college classes and your rent and your food. You know, like you could live off of that.
Probably save up for a car over a fucking like a summer. You could save up enough to buy a good car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You could conceivably in the 70s, if you worked long enough and saved up and were really frugal, have bought a small house working at a place like McDonald's.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and that's what it was originally. And so like to pretend that like this is just a job for children and no one should do it that's an adult, like that's never been the case. Like, what are you talking about? That was never like how it worked out originally. What do you mean? Like, where are you getting this from? Are you getting this from your own childhood in like the 90s when that was the like pretty common for teenagers to work there on TV? Because you're not getting it from reality. Because there's always been grown ass adults working there and making their living at like fast food joints. Because you know, especially like people that have immigrated over. It's it's one of the few jobs that it's like everybody's qualified to work at a fast food joint. Plus, you're going to be put in a situation where you're going to have to learn English pretty quick. You're going to get a lot of practice on it. So you can,
right.
Get used to the language that you're now going to live in, the United States. You can learn it, it's a good place to learn English. Fast food joint, everybody's going to use it. You're going to get used to accents and different dialects pretty quickly. And a lot of those places give you one meal a day free, so you get to work there and you get to like get your lunch or something paid. So it's even easier if you're just starting off, whatever.
Yeah, that was one thing I loved about the Mexican food restaurant I worked at. Like while you were at work, you could literally eat as much as you fucking wanted. Like it wasn't
a lot
like
of
just
these
one
places
shift.
now are really strict about it. Like, I've never worked at
Yeah,
fast food
yeah,
myself.
yeah. And most of the chains were even back then. Yeah, but yeah, even back then, like the chain restaurants were like that, where you might be able to get a free on your lunch break or
Well, a lot of them were
whatever.
like you
But yeah,
can
no,
get
that place was
like any one of like there was like 4 or 5 basic meals at each place, and if you worked there,
right.
you could get one of the basic meals. Like you wouldn't be able to get like for instance, if you worked at like Burger King, you wouldn't be able to get like the Whopper or the Double Whopper meal, but you could get like a cheeseburger
Right.
and fries and a soda for free. You know, like enough that you would definitely be like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lunch. I'm good. You know, like you're not
Yeah.
getting
Yeah. It was
starved or
definitely enough that you're
anything.
not starving.
Yeah, yeah, but it's not like you
Yeah.
weren't getting like
Yeah.
the premium meals there. Same with like the Taco Bells or whatever. And then I think I had a friend that worked at McDonald's, and they was like they got to eat a certain amount of food within a certain amount of price. So like you had like $10 in store credit or $6 in store credit or something that you could eat every day or something like once a day.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of that kind
Gotcha.
of stuff. At least that's from people that I talked to that worked in
Yeah.
those places when I was growing up. So
Yeah, they would usually give you like a shift meal, like within reason, within certain amounts of some kind.
yeah, it was never like a
But yeah,
lot
no,
of
it was a
food, but it
great
was
thing.
always like pretty
Oh,
reasonable, you know.
Yeah, but that was what's great about the Mexican food because it was so good. The food there was so goddamn
Oh,
good.
dude, free Mexican food all day,
Yeah.
and they're not going to put a limit on it. They'd be out of business with me, man.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
gonna put
obviously you
that
had to
place in the
prepare
fucking.
yourself
I'm gonna
for
put
the
them
most
in the
part.
red like fast.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, dude, everything was so fucking good there, dude. Yeah, great red chili, cause I've rarely come across red chili anywhere else that's as good as that was. The hot sauce, it wasn't hot, it wasn't like spicy, but it was so tasty, dude. It was so fucking good. Yeah, I had a friend of mine that would literally drink them, dude. Like he would drink the fucking hot sauces, dude. It was funny.
I could see that.
But yeah, it's fucking just everything is so goddamn good. The shredded beef was fantastic. The ground beef, the chicken, fucking everything is just really fucking good.
Oh yeah, well I mean, it's like the one thing Taco Bell got right about Mexican food. Obviously, it's not Mexican food. I'm not trying to say it is. I just want to be clear.
Right.
Before it's like, what do you mean? The one thing they got right is anything you buy at Taco Bell is the same. Like it's all the same quality level, the same amount of like tastes good kind of thing. Because it's like,
yeah, that's kind of how Mexican food is, though. Really,
that's what I'm saying.
Like it's just different forms of the same shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the same. That's the one thing Taco Bell got right about Mexican food is you can order anything off of there. And it's all going to be equal. It's all going to be equally tasting.
Yeah.
The same.
Yeah. Do you want it in taco form? Do you want it in burrito form?
Exactly.
Yeah, tostada form.
Exactly. It was one of those things where it's like, what do you call it? Nope, I've lost it. I lost the thought.
We
I had a
robbed that
thought,
place
and it wasn't that important anyway. It was just fucking waxing eloquent about food, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah. Well. Why not? Yeah, it doesn't fit in with our highbrow fucking standards of the show.
Yeah, fucking not cool enough for that.
Yeah.
Oh no! Somebody was trying to get me to play Overwatch. I'm like,
God
no,
damn it.
I'm in a call.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Let's see here. What else is there? Oh, did you see? I don't know if you looked at the pictures I posted of Overwatch stuff. But I thought it was funny that I ended up in a death match with 4 other people with pants in their name. So it was me, McStabby Pants, and there was Shirt Pants, Stick Pants, Grumpy Pants, and Soul Pants, right? And that was the death match where you do death match. So,
Oh, okay. I missed it.
I'm pretty sure you've never played Overwatch, right? Like you've never played Overwatch, I'm assuming?
No, but I've definitely seen it being played.
Okay. So one of the nice things about Overwatch that I don't know is the same in any other first-person shooter game is while you're waiting for a match to queue up, there's a number of different things you can do that you can just go and have fun doing while you're waiting for the game to go. So I was playing deathmatch, which is they just throw
Yeah.
8 people in a map and you just kill each other, and there's no real score or anything like that. You're just kind of like keeping dead. I mean, you can keep track of kills, but nobody wins or loses. It doesn't matter. It's just literally just for fun.
Yeah.
And you'll respawn an infinite amount of
Yeah,
times.
he's fucking around. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just silly. And so I was doing that in a death match, and then the next match I got right after that, all of us went into the same match, which was very funny because that's rare.
Oh, gotcha. It's
And then we
usually
went
more
into
random.
an actual match.
Yeah.
The team I was on fucking destroyed them. Like, so I was like, at the end I was all, there can be only one pants.
Yeah, there's 5 out of the 8, dude. I'm looking at it now. There's 5 of the 8 people have pants in their name.
Yeah, and then I played him in the next. This is the final scorecard of the match we played, where we just fucking annihilated them in the match and won the game. And I literally typed in the chat afterwards. I was like, "There can only be one pants." Oh yeah.
So
Oh, I wanted
too many
to.
pantses.
This video with the cops and the 14-year-old or 14-month-old kid that got killed in the car accident is so fucking
Oh, I
infuriating.
didn't watch that one. I saw it.
So, like, okay, so I don't know.
Yeah, what was the story?
So here's the thing: I don't know if the cops were at fault or if the parents driving the mom driving the car was at fault. I have no way of knowing, because supposedly the video glitched out and you can't see like the actual accident itself. Which I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, "Oh yeah, no." I'm like, yeah, no. It was a pretty major car accident. One of the cars was going 130. It's entirely possible the camera got fucking damaged. Right? Like I would say usually I would be really questioned about it, but at that kind of like speed, it's totally possible that that was just really badly damaged vehicle. Now, that doesn't necessarily, justify driving 130. They were responding to a call. The person wasn't clear. The person wasn't clear on whether or not. Let's see, what was it? Sorry, I'm thinking here. Wasn't clear on whether or not they were using their sirens. Like, were their lights and sirens going? Because the lady pulled out in front of them and got hit. And also, there's no clear indication of how far away you could see there was a car coming that fast. I mean, she just pulled out and wasn't paying any attention there. Or if it was them. Yeah. But also, equally, it could have been the police just being totally irresponsible. The cop that was driving had a DUI, prior DUI to that. So maybe, he was drunk again. I don't know. There's no indication of whether or not that's the case. All they did was show a bunch of emotional stuff of the mom and her boyfriend or husband going, "Oh, this was the last time we saw our kid." And I'm like, yeah, it's sad. It really is. But, like, that's not really relevant to who's at fault whatsoever.
Yeah.
As much as, I'm sure it's nice to get revenge or for, like, you want the police to be punished or somebody to be punished because this kid died. But it may not necessarily have been the police's fault. Yeah. But it, but it could have been. But like the way this video is presented, there's never any sort of evidence of any kind. It's all emotional arguments, and it's like, look, if you're gonna do this kind of video, and it's like if you're gonna do this kind of video, you gotta be honest and you gotta put the evidence in for both sides so that we know like what the argument is on either side of this particular equation. Was the cop drunk? Because if he was, then fuck him. Obviously that's his fault. Or was he not? And then this whole idea that you should never be speeding to get to a call if you're a police officer. Yes, you fucking should. I want you there fast if I'm calling you. I don't want you there fucking 2 hours late. I want you there on time. So to me, it was just like, it's such a frustrating style of video because it's like, I get it, you know, you don't like cops, but can we get some actual information?
Just you're upset.
Yeah, like, can we get some actual information about what's going on here and not just...
Yeah, no, I get that you're upset that the 14-month-old died. Yeah, that's fucking horrible. But like, what actually happened? What the actual
Exactly.
details of this thing?
Exactly what
Yeah,
I'm
that sucks.
saying.
Just don't bother giving.
Yeah, because then you're left with
I
like
hear you, man.
this incredibly frustrating situation of like, well, but were they wrong or were they not? Because I don't know.
Yeah, when you just whine about how unfair it is that the kid doesn't.
Oh, and the cop didn't get fired. It's like, well, they haven't done any investigation yet. So how do they know whether or not he deserves to be fired? Like, you don't just automatically fire somebody because they had a traffic accident. What if they were not the ones at fault?
Yeah, it seems like people have no appreciation for due process anymore.
Yeah, and I want exactly. I want due process. Was they at fault? Were they not at fault? If they were, obviously there should be some sort of punishment. If they weren't at fault, then they weren't at fault. You know, like yeah, maybe that sucks or it's not fair or whatever. But you know, you can't just convict these guys arbitrarily. You know, that's not cool.
Yeah, that's what I hate about this fucking the cancel culture bullshit.
Yeah,
it's like there's allegations. Let's try to at least figure out if they're actually true, man.
Well, and here's one of the things that drives me
quite
nuts
obvious.
is the
allegations happen a lot.
The complete lack of nuance. Like nobody can fucking even consider for even like a half a second, like a whole second. They can't even like consider whether or not their side might have done something wrong because they're so all in on a side that it's like this emotional connection to being right. You know what I mean? And the other thing is like, why can't people just be wrong sometimes? Like I'm wrong about shit. I was wrong about fucking the serial killer thing. The guy, I thought I got the guy wrong about what he was making. Whether he was making skin stuff or whatever, you know, clearly that was a mistake on my part. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Nobody gives a shit. But it's like...
Yeah, again, like the time, same with mine when I was like, no, aspirin's made... And then I was like, oh, no, you're right. It was... Like, same general thing.
Yeah, people make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's not a big deal. It's nobody's going to die because mistakes were made. You know, sometimes you say things that are not right. You know, everybody does it because
you thought you knew something that you didn't. Yeah,
and everybody does it because
around their head.
No one can know everything. You know, it's not like
we're not all fail-proof computers that have perfect recall.
Exactly. And I think that's another thing is that people are just really, really hung up right now on those kind of like things, those kind of weird.
No, it's a very odd. And yeah, like I said, early on in my that I was starting to get that group thinking of like, all right, well, no, they're on our side, so. And I was like, all right, I don't want that to ever happen again. I don't want to have to. I want to be able to think critically about everything.
Right.
I don't want to think about, wait, what does our side think? What does our team think?
You know, just because somebody that's a Republican said something certainly doesn't mean like that I'm going to just agree with them. Like that's dumb.
Yeah. Or again, like thinking, it's very odd that people ascribe like all trans people, all gay people, and weren't perfect human beings.
Yeah, there's a reason.
You know what I
So
mean? Like
obnoxious.
there's no group of people.
Yeah, there's a reason it's so obnoxious when people talk about how like, oh well, typically you know Republicans this or typically Democrats that. It's like, well, that Republican or that Democrat, like it's not. It's not that easy to just be like, no, all of them are bad. No, it's like, no, they're all people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be good and bad and average, whatever, and
then,
any sizable group of people.
And then people get to make
It's all
mistakes.
still made up of
So how about
Right.
people get to make mistakes once in a while and you don't fucking crucify them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the false allegations thing was, Sorry, it's a little off
yeah.
subject.
Oh, the one about
Kinda
the poor those poor guys that got accused of domestic violence and shit. That was fucked. Those girls like beat themselves up for it too, which is like fucking insane. Like that's crazy.
Like, yeah. Dude, could you just imagine what would have happened to them if that wasn't on camera? And again, that's certainly happened probably plenty of times before the cameras were so fucking everywhere.
Well, and what it does make me think of, and it's interesting, is all of the victims of domestic violence I've ever met have been men.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's weird, and it's...
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that be like, well, all you ever do is hang out with men then. It's like, no, more of my friends, by a substantial amount, over the course of my life, have been women than men. So, that's pretty weird. You know what I mean? It's like, that's kind of a weird one for that to be the case. So it makes me wonder at some of the numbers and if there's just a lot of unreported domestic violence.
I don't know. Yeah, I think their guys are still pretty hesitant to come out and say they're being abused. Leave it, Luke.
Because I've definitely seen it happen a lot to a lot of
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's still a bit of a... Leave it, Luke. Because, I think, again, Luke, God damn your dog. I think guys are still hesitant to come out and admit that.
Yeah. Which is sad, because if you're the one being abused, the last thing you should have to worry about is being mocked for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, being stigmatized by it.
Like, like you're somehow a bad person.
It's like, no, it's not like a fucking power issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, I could have beat her ass myself, no problem, but, like, you don't hit women. That's not okay, or something like that. That's a lot of what you'll hear.
Yeah.
Well, the one that really was sad to me,
many times as you want.
The one that was really sad to me was one of the guys I knew that got beaten a lot was his wife would always threaten with, I'm gonna take the kids and you'll never see us again. I'll just disappear and there's nothing you can do about it, Until he eventually got divorced and I guess got partial custody at least, but he was showing up to work with black eyes every other fucking week, dude. It was crazy. It was so bad.
Yeah,
and it was
that's fucking nuts, dude.
And we were like, he told us, and we're like, man, that's really fucked up. I'm so sorry you got to deal with that. That cannot be easy. And you could see he was just blown away. Because he had expected, I'm assuming, for us to make fun of him or something. Like we were going to be like,
you're a
fucking pussy. But you can't fucking handle a woman, blah, blah, blah. That kind of shit. And it was it just was such you feel so bad for the guy because you're like, man, that's got to be a rotten fucking way to live.
Spot to be in.
Because every time you go home, you're going to get punched in the fucking face, That's so fucking dark.
Dude. Yeah, as men, it's kind of our in our nation shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was in an abusive relationship. I didn't realize it for the longest fucking time.
Well, men are supposed to endure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, leave it. Yeah. And again, especially the fact, my ex would hit me, but I would fucking laugh at her because she couldn't fucking hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But she was still trying to, you know?
Yeah, it's still super abusive to just punch you in the face whenever she's mad at you or something like that. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was always like one of the crazier things about meeting people that were like victims of domestic assault of some kind or another. It's because almost everyone I met was a dude. I met one lady that was beaten by her husband for sure, and like that was a pretty brutal story too. Like he even broke her fucking arm like a couple times, and she was fine with it. But
yeah, that's nuts.
Right? Yeah, like Jesus, lady, why would you let him do that? That's terrible. Why would you not have called the police? But at the same time, you know, she was new in the country, didn't really know that like the police would help her.
Yeah.
Even though she wasn't like, you know, she'd married into the country and all that kind of stuff and had kids. And she was totally fine putting up with it. And the reason I respected her is because the second he laid a hand on her kids, she ended it there and like fucking took the kids and went to the police and was done with it and made sure he went to jail and all that shit because, you know, he was fucking hit the kids. So, you know, and I was like, you know what? I think it was dumb that you didn't, you know, do something about it before then.
Yeah.
But I can respect you for at least like stepping up when it actually really mattered at that point. Like it was like, no, that really matters now. Because they're hitting the kid, and that's obviously too far.
There's plenty of women that still would. Yeah, there's plenty of women that would still let the guy abuse the kids too. So yeah, it's good that she finally at least had that line. Like I can put up with it for the kids or whatever, but now you're hitting the kids too. Like fuck you.
Also a lot of the Asian countries, you know, that like Thailand and Cambodia and China and Japan and. Vietnam and Korea and all that stuff. They're still sort of like back in the 60s and 70s.
I want you to name every single one. You need to name every single Asian country before we continue.
That might take a while. Aren't there quite
named off a lot, dude. I'm like, I think we get the point. Yeah, you named a lot of them. I thought it was funny that you were like. I worked at a company with a lot of first-generation Americans from all these different countries in Asia. Okay.
So, like, that was just naming different, like, nationalities of people I worked with. Because there was always still a super major focus on staying married. Like, you didn't get divorced in those countries. Like, they're like, no, it's just not even a thing.
Yeah, it's like America used to be.
Yeah, exactly. It used to be like, oh, no, you never get divorced. What are you thinking, you whore? Like, that's not acceptable. But I
think our generation was probably the first one in America where the divorce was no longer really stigmatized. Like the 80s, I think, was the last time when it was really, really stigmatized. Like by the 90s, there wasn't really the same stigma.
Especially if there was a reason for the divorce, like the person was cheating on you, or the person was beating the shit out of you. Like if there was a good reason for it, there was no question whatsoever in people's minds of whether it was okay.
Leave it. Get over here. Leave it. Get over here. Sit.
I'm curious if the auto feeder works with that.
He just took off after him. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries.
Yeah, well, I have it wrapped around my leg because, again, when he used to do that shit, it would just yank it right out of my hand. Like when you see a cat in the yard or whatever.
Yeah.
So I started wrapping it around my leg. So when he takes off, it like jerks, and I'm on a wheeled chair. Sit down. Sit. Fucking dog. Mom's like, you gotta hit him, you gotta smack him. I'm like, I don't want to fucking hit the dog, dude.
You don't have to hit dogs.
Like, I get it, it's infuriating.
Who thinks you need to hit a dog to fucking teach it to
them?
That's fucking dumb.
No, leave it. But she might not like beat. She's like, you gotta bop him on the nose. I'm like, I don't want to have to like teach the dog that way. Get over here.
There's better ways to teach dogs than through like physical.
Yeah, it's just as effective.
Like you can shake
Yeah,
a
he gets the
hand.
point. Like I'll grab him, especially when he's got the. Yeah, or just, dude, I'll grab him by the harness and kind of like just jerk him around a little bit. Like it doesn't take much. Like it upsets him or whatever, but it's not hurting him at all. You know what I mean? And he gets the point, like, oh, I must be doing something wrong that I should stop doing. So I don't actually have to like strike him.
Yeah.
Calm down, Luke. Leave the kitty alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not all of that effect. Leave the kitty alone. The level of obsessiveness that the dog has. Again, oh, I want to go play that thing. It's moving around and it should be alive. I want to go play with it. I must. I must go.
I must
play
be
with
friends with this new and interesting animal.
Yeah. Even though the cat's like, anytime it's gotten close, it's fucking swiped at him. Yeah, the other day I was running him out. The cat was like hanging out in the car. I didn't know exactly where the cat was at, but I'm taking him out to his son, back to his dad or whatever. And the last second he gets towards the back of the car where the cat's underneath the very back of the car, he like goes down to try to get under it, like out of the blue, he just zags at it. And so, yeah, the cat starts fucking, swiping at it furiously. Like he doesn't seem to grasp that the cat's not exactly comfortable. And him just running up on it. And
oh, yeah. I mean, the cat's so small. It's like dogs don't understand sometimes the size that they are.
Yeah. And again, it's just a different energy frequency kind of thing, too. Like, the dogs are way too enthusiastic. Cats, I don't know. They generally don't, like, fucking, yeah. Like, the way a dog would fucking, when you get home, jump up on you, lick your face, whatever. Like, cats will be happy to see you, but they're not going all out like fucking dogs do. Like, a cat that hasn't seen their owner in, like, a year will react less enthusiastically than a dog that hasn't seen you for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Calm down, Poop. Shut down. Wow. Oh, did you actually watch any of the debate that I sent you with that fucking bitch and the young 20-year-old kid?
I watched almost like a half an hour, I think.
Oh, you watched some of it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember you saying
it got to the point where it was just infuriating.
So I had to take all at once.
Well, it was just so infuriating because she wasn't making any arguments. She was just throwing out word salad and insulting the kid, like constantly. Just this constant fucking word salad of just nonsense terms that she clearly just made up that mean nothing. Oh, the bubble. Yeah. That's not real. You're just making shit up. That's not an actual thing. Like, the way you're talking about it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, she's like, see, I think of it in philosophy terms. So, and I'm like, you're just a shitty commentary fuck channel.
Well, and you know what?
Something fucking
do you know what's not a philosophy term? Any of what she's fucking saying. None of what she's saying is real. Like, that's all bullshit. None of those are actual philosophy
it's
terms.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Like, I took philosophy in college. Yeah, it's not that fucking complicated. Like, this lady's out of her fucking mind.
Yeah. And obviously being like so overly fucking generous to the bitch that obviously made this shit up. That obviously made up these allegations. Yeah. It was infuriating, dude.
And then she's constantly, aside from just making shit up, she was also constantly being like,
so condescending,
you're
so
just
dismissive.
A kid, you don't understand, you haven't been around, you haven't lived life enough to know, and it's like, what do you fucking mean? Because that doesn't have anything to do with this, and also, no, that has no, like, just being young doesn't make him a retard. Like, What do you mean he doesn't
Yeah,
understand?
it doesn't make her right if she's 15 years older. Yeah, it doesn't make her right because she's 15 years old. It doesn't make him wrong because he's only 20.
Exactly.
It was ridiculous. It's funny because later on she starts going off. Like, she kind of did it a little earlier, but later on she started really going into it. Well, you see, I'm 35. I've lived all these lives. I've lived in all these places. And he's like, what does that have to do with this? You know what I mean?
Oh, he
like,
finally
that doesn't
got
mean
tired
anything.
of it.
That has nothing to do with it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, he stayed really calm about it, which, again, I don't know how he did it, because I would have really fucking struggled to not just fucking go off on that bitch. But I think that was his whole point, because I'd heard him talk about it later on. I made sure that didn't happen so that she could just, because it seemed like she was doing it on purpose. Like, so it was a passive-aggressive way to, like, antagonize him, to try to get him to, like, yell at her. And so he was like, no, I went into that consciously making sure that didn't happen.
Smart
so
on
I'm like,
his
okay,
part.
good for you, kid. Yeah.
Very smart on his part.
No, he did a fucking amazing job.
I don't know that I could have been that patient.
Yeah, because it was pretty infuriating.
I was having trouble not
pointed
yelling
out
at my
one time,
fucking
he's like,
computer
okay,
screen. Like,
dude.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That's not a fucking real
Yeah,
thing.
dude, it's funny,
God damn it, shut your fucking mouth. You know, like, quick fucking
dude,
insult
towards
this
the
kid.
end, he was like, because she would constantly be like, oh, okay, so I think we agree on this. He's like, you know, you keep saying you agree, and then you clear that you don't agree. You know what I mean? Like, she was doing that weird fucking Jedi mind trick shit. I don't want to give her that much credit. It's not that fucking, like, it was pretty
catch,
obvious
though.
what she was doing. Yeah, no, it was funny, dude, because he actually called her out on all the bullshit she was doing, like the age thing. Like, it doesn't matter, it doesn't make you right, you know.
Yeah.
And also, you keep saying you agree, and then say right after that, it makes it clear that you don't agree, that we don't agree. Yeah, no, it's it's fucking. Oh yeah, she's insufferable, dude. Yeah, and dude, it's to the point where she's like, no, I was actually accused and you know, had to go to court and do all this other shit. I'm like, you're so full of shit that I don't believe any of the shit about your life that you say. I think you're making it all up. Or not, I'm just saying, not that I thought she's making everything up that she says she's been through or whatever. I don't believe her unless it's confirmed somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I would not take her as a credible source of information about anything. Because she's so full of shit.
No. You'd have to be out of your fucking mind to consider her credible in any respect.
Yeah. The fact that she has fans is amazing. I followed her for about a week and a half. I'm like, all right, I like listening to people that have differing opinions. And then I was like,
I'm trying to think how to put it. There's always going to be a certain amount of really dumb people who are just looking for someone to tell them how to, like, exist. Who just want somebody to fucking make everything make sense, make all their choices for them. And it's sad, but it's unfortunately the reality. And it sounds like, you know, a lot of people just, she speaks in the right kind of babble, so they're like, oh, she must know what she's talking about or something. And it's unfortunate. So it's just one of those sad things. It's like, it's too bad that there's a lot of people like that. I wish people were a little more intelligent about, you know, what they got into. But that's like, there's so many cults, you know?
Yeah. Well, no, it reminded me of Deepak Chopra. That fucking charlatan motherfucker.
Oh, like, yeah, that guy.
You know, there's a lot of people that are fooled by his nonsense. Dude, and there was a debate. I don't know why he took this on, but it was him and some other stupid bitch on one side. And the other people were fucking Sam Harris and Michael Shermer, who are pretty heavyweight intellectuals. Just back before Sam Harris. Sam Harris has kind of lost his mind with the TDS shit, but back then he was still, you know, relatively sane. But anyways, they were at Caltech, right? And Chopra is used to just throwing out his word salad nonsense and people thinking it sounds deep. But when you're around people that are intelligent, that aren't insecure about that shit, they're going to be like, that doesn't make what you just said doesn't make any fucking sense. So he was getting laughed at like constantly because they were, they weren't dumbasses that are fooled by his fucking word salad nonsense. So I said always people that are going to be, wow, that sounds really deep. I don't really know what it means. And the people that are intelligent enough to know, yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It's a bunch of fucking nonsense. So yeah, it's kind of funny that it's sad that people are like that, like kind of easily led and fooled. They're like, well, I don't know what that means. I guess I'm just stupid. And anybody with just a tiny amount of intelligence is going to be like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Because that does seem to be what it is, dude. Because you're like, how does anybody listen to that? And like, oh, people are kind of dumb and kind of insecure about not being particularly intelligent. So when they don't understand something, they assume that person's really smart instead of not recognizing that you don't understand it because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. Yeah, there is an unfortunately very large amount of that kind of stuff out there in the world. It's a shame. It's why people fall for things like the Bernie Madoff scams. It's just a shame that there's so many shitty people out in the world that are willing to take advantage of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty shitty way to make a living.
Yep.
World sucks. Bottom line, everything just sucks.
Yeah, I can't argue that. Would like to argue against, but cannot because your argument is pretty hard to argue against.
It seems to suck more and more every day, every week, every month.
I think the Buddhists would definitely be on your side there.
Indeed. Yeah. There are some promising signs, I guess, here and there, but still, everything seems pretty fucked up at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is kind of nice. There are people, even the normies are kind of getting hip to the bullshit.
It is nice that some people are finally starting to clue in that maybe they're being lied to by all these people.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the false allegation shit. Like it's almost getting to the race hoax point now, where you're like, so many false allegations are being made by these women against these guys that I'm now doubting it. Like I'm now assuming it's probably false. Like that seems to be the case more often than not.
Yeah, you
like how many times is it's reported? Yeah, like the race shit. How many alleged race crimes, end up being genuine?
Right.
It's like what, 1 out of 100 maybe. Like it's a fucking insanely small amount that doesn't end up being a hoax. So you'd be fucking, it'd be ridiculous to just assume that the next one's real because of the track record, and that's unfortunate. It's fucked up, man. But yeah, it's like the allegations now. There's so many women making false allegations that it's getting to that point.
Yep.
Where you almost assume, this is probably bullshit. I'm gonna need some evidence, which is probably good. Like you should wait for evidence anyway.
Yeah, you should always wait for evidence. That's
you know what I mean? Actual due process. Yeah. Yeah,
that's like what I was saying with that
glaringly obvious. Although a lot of these things do seem obvious.
Well, that's like what I was saying with the video about the cop car accident. It's like, well, you didn't give us any information. Now we have no way of knowing what may or may not be going on. Like there's just a bunch of oh, feel really bad for these people. Aren't those people that made these people cry really evil?
Yeah.
Like it's like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I
Like,
saw
yeah, no,
a
I know
video where
it's
the
sad
cop
that a
was
14-month-old died.
driving too fast down the road and somebody died, and it was really sad. But it was very clearly not the police officer's fault. This girl just walked right out into the road without even looking to see what was there. You know, like how was he supposed to, like, what can he had his sirens on, he had the fucking lights going. He was doing everything he was supposed to, and everybody should have been paying attention, but she had her fucking head in her fucking phone. She had her fucking earphones stuck in her ears. And she was ignoring everything that was going on. And it was like, well, of course that's, that's really dangerous. She could have been hit by any number of other things besides his car. It's not like that was the most likely thing to happen.
Yeah, the jumping, like, there's so much. Yeah, people that are just jumping to conclusions right away. Like, so many times now that's been proven. You know what I mean? That it's not always what it looks like. That you should be waiting to get more details, but people are still like, nope, I'm mad, and I need to know. I need to decide right now who I'm mad at.
Yep.
And fuck whatever evidence comes out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
All cops are bastards, so there was a cop involved, so it must be the cop's fault because all cops are bastards.
Yeah, instead of just like, well, you don't know until until the investigation is concluded, like what actually happened. Like those guys that got sent to jail just because their wives said they got beat. It's like, if there hadn't been video evidence of them beating themselves, those dudes would be in prison right now.
Those guys would be fucked. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, the people that obviously falsely accuse people like that should have to serve the sentence that the person that they falsely accused would have served if they had been successful.
And it should not be something that a district attorney can just be like, oh, I don't feel like pressing charges on it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it actually made a
like you have to it's an automatic you file, like there's a trial no matter what at that point.
Yeah, no, I did a comment like that earlier. That I was like, look, I'm not talking about not enough evidence that they think they can convict. That's different. I'm talking about when it's obviously there's concrete proof that they faked it. So I'm not talking about any allegation that was made that wasn't like charged or convicted. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm talking about.
You don't just say it's a false conviction or false accusation at that point. Just because like the trial didn't get one or something like that. That's that's an unfortunate reality of the legal system, is that yes, unfortunately, people who are guilty can end up walking away without being punished. But far better than a bunch of innocent people go to prison because you just automatically believe whoever says something. That's so much more dangerous, because I'd rather have a few guilty people running around than a bunch of fucking innocent people in jail. Like, that seems like it should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, how do you think that, like, how would you, any of the people that object to that, think that anybody wants? Like, anybody who makes an allegation that doesn't end up in a conviction needs, like, no, that's not the way it would fucking work with the false allegation.
There's probably plenty of MRA types who would be, like, agree with that.
Not that many.
There's also a bunch of those people out there who. Oh no, I didn't think it'd be that many of them. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's probably the most likely
they're out there
source that you'll find people like that.
I hear you. They're definitely out there.
Like there's people that don't believe in single party divorce. Like, there's all sorts of wacky people out there.
Yeah, that one fucking blows my mind, dude. Can you believe Crowder's wife was able to divorce? And he didn't want her to divorce him?
You know what blows my mind is the people that think that was not abuse.
Dude, yeah.
Like, that one kind of gets me, because it's like, that was super abusive. Are you serious? That's financial abuse right there. Like, he's using the fact that he's the breadwinner to isolate her and keep her from being able to go anywhere. Like, that's super
Yeah.
fucking, that's super
Right.
sketchy. Like, that's really fucking sketch. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he has some sort of obligation to just open his fucking bank account and let her spend whatever she wants. That's you know, I get it. That's an unreal, you know, thing. But the concept that his pregnant wife would be at home and he would only have one vehicle while they're living in a fucking mansion, and
Yeah.
she's not allowed to go get groceries when she
Yeah.
wants to, or go do an errand or something unless he's okay with her borrowing the car. That's fucking weird, man. That's really
Yeah.
fucking gross. And you know what?
Yeah.
Marriage is a partnership. It is not one person owning the other person because they got the job, they earned the money. That's fucking dumb. Like,
Yeah.
no one thinks that except for a
Dude.
few fucking lunatics, man.
Mm. Yeah,
'Cause
if
I'm
Samaj
sorry,
joins, we're gonna have to
that's-
change the subject.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, no. But I still stand by what I said. I'm sorry. I mean, I
Yeah,
genuinely think
no,
that's
I
gross and it doesn't make any sense. But I've heard
Yeah.
many
No,
people
I mean,
talk
I-
like that, and it's just like gross.
Yeah, it's
dude.
very
like,
odd.
oh, you
I hate
earn the
women as
money,
much
so
as
they
most
have to
guys.
be a slave. What? What's wrong with you? Like, that's so gross.
Yeah, that's very odd, dude. But yeah, the discussion was quite obviously not fruitful at all. Nobody's changing their minds. That's kind of what
Oh,
I meant
yeah,
by
yeah,
that,
yeah,
changing
yeah.
the subject.
Yeah. It's like I don't mind those kind of discussions though, because like Samaj is respectful for the like we're not
Yeah.
we're not gonna like hate each other at the end of it. Like there's no yelling and screaming
Yeah.
and childish behavior like there was with that one dude that flipped out all the time.
Yeah. Oh, 40 Mike.
Yeah, the one everybody
40
blamed
Mike,
me.
right?
Like I was the
Yeah.
one that was like the problem. There was like, oh, you're fucking starting fights. It's like, no, I'm just trying to have a conversation and we don't agree, and that's fine.
Yeah.
but
and- yeah. He's
like, I
getting
don't have
pissed
to,
off,
like,
and I'm not really.
cater to his opinion and go with it. Like that's
Yeah.
silly. Of course, then again, he went.
Yeah, if
went
he's getting
fucking full
angry
retard,
just because I
though.
disagree.
He went full.
Yeah,
retard,
you're Hitler,
though.
buddy.
Yeah, I'm Hitler. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That shit
Yeah.
was fucking funny. I that was one of the more entertaining, but like also kind of sad moment in just like, man, you used to be such a reasonable person, or maybe I just never saw it until then, you know. But he always seemed like such a
Yeah,
reasonable
well,
person. up until then.
he definitely seemed like an Islam apologist back in the day. Like when I first started coming on,
Oh, maybe I
seemed
just didn't
to-
want to see it. You know, it's entirely
really
possible.
apologetic for it. Yeah, I didn't really push back because again, I was brand new, right before he stopped coming around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember just kind of backing off. I'm like, all right, I'm new here. Go too
I
deep
do hope
into this. but-
hope he's doing all right though.
Yeah.
I hope
And it wasn't
whether or not he
egregious.
ever talks
It
to me
wasn't
again, I hope he
egregious.
figures out like how ridiculous that stuff
Yeah.
was and like doesn't keep being, because that's a really poisonous kind of
Yeah.
belief system.
Yeah, it's
It makes you
I mean,
really unhappy.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, for adults, it's not all that easy to get out of. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty well ingrained at that age. I don't know how old he is, but he was an adult, clearly.
Oh, he's
It's
on.
possible.
He's around
I
our
fucking
age,
hope-
maybe
hope so as
maybe
well.
5 years younger. I want to say than me, 5 or 6 years younger. He's not like super
Yeah,
young,
so
but he's not
highly
quite, like, as
unlikely.
old. Yeah. Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
sure he's going to be that
So
way. till he
highly
dies.
unlikely, but not impossible. Yeah. Hope not. But yeah, people don't generally come out of that at that age.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
old to still
unfortunate.
be like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember being young and idealistic, fucking, holding opinions that are obviously not practical at all because
Oh
young and
yeah,
idealistic and fucking stupid.
like
I
like
think
the
we all kind
idea
of go
that
through
like
that early in our lives. You're like, oh, this is how the world works.
like the idea that there's never any fraud in any of like the government assistance programs or Like, because you kind of grow up thinking, like, no, the only people that really need it get that stuff. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of people that really need it that use it. And that's great. And that's what it's for. And I'm glad that it's there for them. But there's also a lot of people who abuse those systems, like, especially from other countries. Like,
yeah. Yeah, to not think that, any kind of government assistance are going to be people that are fraudulently obtaining it.
Any situation in which there is a profit to be made monetarily, someone is going to abuse it. It doesn't matter if it's from the government, from a company, from whatever. It's gonna be abused. Just because human nature, humans are fucking scumbags a lot of the time.
If it can be, it will be.
Yeah, exactly. If it can be, it will be. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Was there anything else there? I know there was more good stuff on. What is with the fucking deodorant stuff? Like these.
Oh, that Pure Genuine. Remember that?
It's like the biggest thing now. Like I keep seeing ads for like vagina deodorant.
Yeah, the all body.
Yeah, they call it all sorts of names. They have all sorts of euphemisms.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be all body, but the bitch just ain't it down her fucking front side. Yeah. But yeah, that one was funny. I don't know if you actually watched the ad.
Oh, I didn't watch that ad because
I'm like,
seen
she's like, I gotta see
that.
them big and fat. Yeah. No, the reason I said, I'm like, okay, this might just be overly woke, or it might be somebody making fun of the woke shit by sneaking this in, because she's literally like, it's secret's the brand. So she says, I've got a secret. It's not only my armpits are stink. And I'm like, yeah, no, I can look at you and kind of, figure that one out. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like somebody making fun of it, but it probably isn't.
Well,
yeah, no, that's why I showed it, because I'm like,
the wokies, the wokey people, is that
like,
they generally are kind of clueless to their own racism and terrible fucking opinions. Like, some of the most racist shit I've seen is woke
I suppose for her, she's like
stuff, like genuinely like, oh my god, that's so racist. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's odd. The people that claim to be so tolerant have such low opinions of the minority championing.
Did you see the fucking thing that the fucking governor of New York said? Most black children don't even know what a computer looks like. And you're like, fucking what? Like, could you be more incredibly racist and ignorant, too? Because I'm sure most black children know what a fucking computer looks like. Come on, what are you talking about? That was so dumb.
Dude, can you imagine if, like, imagine the non-reaction to that compared to the reaction if Trump said that. Like, they'd be talking about it for a month straight.
Well, you know why there's no reaction to that is because the press isn't covering it. So the majority of people out there don't get to see this, like, absurd thing where it's like, whoa, hold on a minute. What did you just say? Most people are never going to hear that. They're never going to hear the governor saying that. And they should, because it was one of those things where it was like, damn, like, you don't really think highly of any sort of people that are white.
No, that's that weird condescending tolerance or whatever. They're like, no, they think that all they're good for is to, pick your crops and fucking, be janitor.
Yeah, all the jobs whenever they're talking about
they can't help
jobs for minorities, it's like the most racist stereotype jobs you can possibly come up with. You're like, Mexican people don't just work on farms, right? Like, that's not really a thing. That's like, they work in other companies. They work
or there's a black guy that's like an astrophysicist.
Well, what was it? I think what was it?
It's like there's a black guy that's a pretty famous astrophysicist.
when there's like the whole race realism and the IQ debate thing where they're like the super racist race realists are like sub-Saharan Africans have like a lower IQ and they're too dumb for society. It's like their whole argument kind of thing. That bullshit.
Yeah.
I think Satan made like the best response to that. It's like, whatever you want to think, go right the fuck ahead. But if you pull all of the world's smartest scientists together, they're not all going to be white. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, I never cared, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care what the average fucking Asian or white or IQ is, dude. We're all still individuals, so what the fuck?
Exactly.
I don't understand that collectivism bullshit. Dude.
Well, it's like the race realists are always they were just like the wokies
dumbass Asian.
Like because the wokies talk about how like this is a black invention or this is a white invention or whatever, and they like there was like that lady that did the world without black inventions or something like that. Like how would a day like that be? And she got them all wrong. She had no idea what the fuck she was talking about because she was too stupid to do the actual research and didn't understand what these inventions actually were. But on the flip side of that, the part that always bothered me about it, that really should have been the first thing that everybody should have thought of is what do you
all right, try that.
Some random stranger made an invention. Who cares what skin color they are? That doesn't make you smarter or better. It may make your life easier.
Yeah, or again.
But they didn't do it to make you look cool. They
did
it to make themselves some fucking money,
people.
Dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Like whether it was a white guy or a black guy that invented peanut butter.
Was kind of
is irrelevant because it doesn't make me smarter if it's a white guy or dumber if it's a black guy. It's not going to change me in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't make me more or less important.
I'm like, it's still individuals. Who cares what the average score is for any fucking race, dude?
Right? Exactly. Well, the thing that always got me about the sub-Saharan African thing is
that smart or
they were taking people that lived out in the jungle, or not in the jungle, in the African like plains and stuff like that, and giving them questions about like fucking math and language and stuff like that, and it's like, but. Why would that? Why are you doing that? Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Of course, they don't know math. There's no school. You're not actually testing their intelligence level. You're just seeing whether or not they understand math. And obviously,
if you have anybody that are essentially subsistence farming or nomad.
Yeah, if you want to learn, what their IQ is, you have to test them on things that are relevant that they have an opportunity to have learned. Like, is their ability to use logic as strong as somebody else's who's, because, I've grown up in suburbia, so, like, I understand computers more, or I understand this more, or whatever. That makes more sense, right? But like, the concept that, like, somebody from, like, the sub-Saharan desert of Africa is going to be, like, a computer science whiz is absurd. Right? Like they're gonna understand tracking.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
They're gonna understand like gathering, like all sorts of things. They're gonna understand way better than I'd ever be able to figure it out. Because they're gonna have a different set of skills.
Let's see how well any of these geniuses. Yeah, the average fucking intelligence of a white Earth. Throw them out there, see how well they do.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like
it's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's like you're not really testing intelligence at that point. You're just testing would they succeed in like a Western school system. Big surprise, no. Because they don't have schooling over there. They're not educated. They're learning how to do things that are relevant, like how to hunt
It's
track and what food and plants are safe, how to like build shelter, how to survive like all sorts of situations. You know, how to avoid the predators that will kill them, you know?
That's irrelevant to their existence, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the math and all that shit is irrelevant to their existence for the most part.
Yeah. Oh, they also
So
had
to
the whole
test
thing
them on
about
it
brain
is
size
just
too, like
fucking
brain
harder.
size was what it was. And that was why that one guy deleted the debate that I had with the other guy. Was because I pointed out that intelligence is not linked to the size of the brain, but to the amount of wrinkles in the gray matter of the brain. Because the more wrinkles, the more connections between neurons, and that's what actually is what stores and allows you to access information. Like knowledge and memories and things like that, and to use logic and all that kind of stuff. It's how many wrinkles are in the gray matter. And that's something they certainly didn't want, because, you know, the
because
was not one
Neanderthal
out there.
Yeah, like Neanderthal had a larger fucking brain, you know what I mean? Like had large magnets. Didn't necessarily make them smarter.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it was I think they said Einstein's brain was crazy folds, dude, when they fucking took his brain out.
I don't know, but somebody kept
like
it, so it must have been worthwhile in some respect. Because didn't his brain get stolen by somebody? I thought his brain got stolen by somebody.
I thought I heard somewhere fairly recently that they had Einstein.
Well, they got it back, but I mean, like, I think somebody stole it initially.
The person that said it may have been mistaken.
Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it would not be surprising.
Because it was valuable,
right,
so, like, you know, I can see why somebody would be like, alright, I'm going to steal Einstein's brain. It's, you know, I can get money out of it or something.
Yeah, no, I would imagine that would be pretty valuable. Polymicrogyria? Gyrification. Gyrification is the process of forming the folds of the cerebral cortex. Gyrification?
I don't know.
Gyrification. Gyrification. The peak of such a fold is called a gyrus. Yeah, no, I looked it up.
Oh, the human brain thing? Yeah.
Or just cortical folding is what most people probably call it.
Yeah.
Something in there about cortical, which, obviously it's...
Oh, yeah, when you start, like, studying this stuff about brains, it's fucking fascinating.
Gyrification coincides with several important developmental processes.
Yeah, it's super
no, it's crazy. Love, dude. Yeah. I always loved that shit. Yeah, I love psychology, man. Like, in college and shit, I loved psychology. Because that's in there, too. I mean, a lot of it's about, obviously, behavior or whatever and all that
psychology
shit,
covers
there's a lot about how the
brain
brain works and all that.
Yeah. Psychology covers, like the medical style study of the brain also, not just, like, how the brain functions, but all of the structures of the brain and how they work together and the... You know, how blood flow and oxygen and all those different things can have, like, differing effects on people.
Yeah, like they actually have managed to figure out, like, we're responsible for speech, this area of the brain, and this area here for, whatever else. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how fucking, how much you've managed to figure out about how the fucking brain works.
Yep, and don't tell Race Realist that, because they get really mad and then they delete your video because you fucking destroyed their little friend in a debate. I always thought that was really funny.
Nice.
Because you remember Millennial Lows, no doubt, right?
Yeah.
Scottish guy. Yeah, that's who I debated his friend.
Sure,
I forget what his friend's name was.
Yeah. Oh, he was the moderator type. That's right. Okay, yeah.
He had initially agreed to debate me, and then he pulled the switcheroo with his friend, which I thought was lame, but whatever. He was a pretty reasonable moderator as far as that goes. So.
That's good. Yeah, he had some odd ideas, but he didn't seem like the worst person, I guess.
Well, he was a very nice person. At least my interaction with him, he was very polite and well mannered, and he was never like disrespectful or dismissive, like like Brittany was with the guy. He never tried to be like, dude. Oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about because you've never been on, you don't have a famous YouTube channel or, any number of like the kind of silly bullshit that you can get out of that kind of, like you get from people like that.
Yeah.
He was very like, okay, you don't agree, I don't agree, like, let's have a conversation and see what we can work out,
Dude, yeah. It's like dealing with the flat earthers. I'm amazed that they, like, don't do that. Like, they actually fucking interact with them.
Yeah.
Like, their ideas are so easily debunked. They're so fucking stupid. Like, it's so hard not to just, like, the guy from the Lore Lodge, just, like, within the last week or two, like, interacted with them. And, like, he was, refuting all the stupid shit they were saying, because obviously the earth isn't fucking flat. Although even when he was just watching videos of theirs, debunking it, like there'd be people that come into the fucking chat and start talking shit or whatever, or he'd be watching their videos responding to a video of his, and he'd be like respectful up to the point till they started like throwing out fucking ad hom insults for no fucking reason. He's like, all right, fuck you then. I'm not gonna be nice anymore. Fuck you.
Oh yeah,
although
yeah.
Still just refuting the point.
And why would you be nice if somebody just
about
starts insulting you? Like that's so ridiculous that people would expect
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, you were fucking cool until you realize that they're just gonna be assholes, so they don't deserve the respect anymore, really. So, all right, now you guys are just fucking retarded. Fuck you.
Yep.
Because it's so insane, dude. Yeah, the flat earther one is so. Because there's fairly intelligent people that seem to buy into it.
I think that's
most
one of those.
Dumbasses.
There's like this. People don't want to be taken advantage of, right? So they want to be able. They want to think of themselves as like smart enough not to fall for like the tricks and stuff that you have to run into in life. Because there are a lot of people who try to fool people about all sorts of shit. For any number of reasons.
Yeah. So they're like, I'm not buying. This globe scam of they're trying to push on us.
And so I think they just kind of get overly, like they think they're being taken for a ride, and so it's like really hard for them to accept that they're wrong because they've built an identity around it, and you have on top of that they don't want people to take advantage of them. And so they feel like they're being taken advantage of. And so like that's a really strong emotional drive. That's really hard to
I understand. I understand being distrustful of authority. I can certainly get on board with that, especially governments and shit. But it's like, dude, how can you think they're going to go through that extreme just to fool people into thinking that we live on a fucking globe? It's like there's so much that goes into that, dude. Like if that was fucking fake. Yeah, it's kind of like remember the bitch that was claimed that Rome never existed?
Oh yeah.
That the Roman Empire.
Oh, that
the
was
whole
so
Roman
dumb.
Empire was bullshit.
That was one of those ones that like
and
really surprised me when I heard there was like a real thing that people genuinely believe. That was one of those ones
she was
that
similarly like she was similarly condescending like Brittany bait with 20-year-old kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Are you guys blind? Are you? Yeah, like that kind of shit. Dude, so confidently wrong is fascinating to me. Like, it's infuriating, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fucking fascinating. Like, how can you be so fucking delusionally confident while you're saying you're spouting bullshit? Yeah. Like, I don't have that much confidence in anything that I fucking, feel really confident about. You know what I mean? It's like,
oh, yeah, because, like, I know there's stuff that I'm wrong about, like, the idea that I would, like... assume that I could not
I try to keep that idea in my head
plan.
As much as possible. I try to keep that thought in my head of I might be wrong, about and pretty much anything. You know, because I don't want to get in that fucking mindset where I'm like, no, I'm going to refuse to believe, you know, whatever, because I'm right, because I'm fucking super smart or whatever. Yeah, and that's the thing, yeah, I feel like everybody would be better off if you just had that thought. I might be wrong. It's possible that I might be wrong about some things.
What was it? There was
Yeah, everybody is wrong about a few
who was
things.
Joe talking to about that? But he had a really good way of looking at it, I thought. So I've been listening to a bunch of Joe Rogan lately because he's actually kind of gotten better. Like, he stopped being super, like, weirdly left-wing and stuff. He stopped buying into the nonsense. And,
yeah.
He was, like,
Yeah,
talking
he
about
gets
how
a bit conspiracy
essentially...
brained.
Oh, yeah. I find that stuff entertaining. I think he smokes a lot of weed and enjoys listening to wacky people.
Yeah.
I don't think it's so much,
yeah.
But,
Although, I don't know, because he said that, he did say fairly recently, I don't know, maybe tracked on this, but he's like, yeah, as far as the moon, like, he's not 100% sure we went to the moon. I don't know if he's backtracked on that or whatever.
I'm
but
sure he
I remember him saying, yeah, I'm on the fence about whether we went.
I don't need to agree with everything he says. I just like, I enjoy the entertainment value of it.
Yeah.
He believes a lot of wacky shit that doesn't make any sense
I
to
hear
me.
you. No, he usually has good discussion.
But I thought one of the things he pointed out was really good about being wrong. He was saying, people are scared of being wrong. Like they think it's going to be some sort of bad thing or something, and that
like
it's really hard for a lot of people to let go of
if you're wrong about something,
of that fear, and that if you can just take that simple step of being able to say, you know what, maybe I'm wrong about this, or I was wrong about that. I used to think this, now I think that because I learned this. That they can be really like powerful statement for helping you to be able to accept being wrong a little easier, like learning how to deal with that. Because it doesn't, just being wrong doesn't make you like a bad person, Like, you're not stupid, you just...
Yeah, it doesn't make you stupid. Yeah.
What makes you stupid
is
being wrong and being unwilling to accept that you're wrong. Even when being given evidence of that.
Unwilling to even entertain the possibility that you're wrong. Just whatever I assume is what is right. So I'm not even going to consider. I think that's where that fucking.
Yeah, exactly. And as much as I hate to generalize, I do see that a lot more with the left wing kind of woke people than with anything else. I do see it with conservatives too. Though. To be clear, it's not like it's only on the left wing, but it seems to be more on that side of things. Sadly.
The extremes, either extreme, you're gonna have people that are in that mindset. But even the ones that are quite extreme on the left still seem to be a little. Nope, I'm right about this. I can't possibly be wrong. I hear you.
Anna Kasparian, I think, is slowly earning my respect, which is probably a statement I would have never thought I would say before. But no, she's slowly earning my respect because she's walking back stuff. I recently saw a video of her talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, saying, you know what, I was under the impression that X, Y, and Z was the case. I was wrong. That is not the case. I have since seen enough evidence to, prove that that's incorrect, and I was wrong about Kyle Rittenhouse, and I'm sorry. And it was just like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I've been remarking on actual justice warrior getting married.
Oh, no.
Hook up. She's brought him up a couple times. And actual justice warrior, and he was actually
I can see that. There would be a good match. Dude, like, they would look good together. I don't know, like, if they would actually get along together, but they certainly would look good together. Like, they're kind of the same level of attractiveness.
They seem to have found some common ground.
Yeah, they're about the same level of attractiveness. I think that's generally a good thing for a relationship, honestly. It's not like you have to be the same level of attractiveness as your partner, but it seems like most people are happier when their partner is like within a point of their point value of attractiveness. Like if you're a 6, you're happier with a 7 or a 5.
Yeah, they'd probably be a little closer.
Yeah.
Well, if Anna had her old nose, pre-rhinoplasty Anna, they were probably dead even.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware of that, but Anna Kasparian had a different nose. She's definitely had a
I don't pay
nose
enough
job.
attention to people on that like that. It's
Yeah,
like I don't follow a lot of
I don't remember
celebrity
how
shit.
I learned it, but it is kind of funny.
I would assume somebody made fun of her for it. Somebody was like, you went and got your nose did,
Oh,
you
yeah.
fucking hypocrite, blah, blah, blah. Why aren't you giving
Yeah,
all
it
your
was
money to the
definitely
poor
that.
kind of thing? Like that sort of like typical sort of conservative sort of statement. Because there's a lot of people on the conservative side who do that sort of personal attack. I'm not a big fan of that, and I'm really not. Like, unless it's done in the sense of like actual.
No, I just think it's funny to point it out, though.
It's no. I'm not saying you should never point it out. I'm saying there's people who do it in a funny way, like actual comedy, and then there's people who just like.
Yeah.
Oh, and it invalidates everything they've ever said.
They're just mean.
Yeah, like they're just mean about it. It's gross. It's
Yeah. Leave it low. Oh Jesus! Now I saw a lizard.
I know I'm not.
Leave it, puppy.
I'm not winning any beauty contests. You know, I don't know. If I had the money, would I get plastic surgery? If you had the money and you could get like whatever kind of plastic surgery you wanted, is there something you would get? I'm curious.
I can. I wouldn't.
I could see getting like your stomach fucking done. Like I wouldn't necessarily argue against that. I think
like if I actually lost weight and I had a bunch of extra skin or something, I might want to get that tucked in.
From what I understand, I think Samaj talked about it taking like 4 or 5 years to go away, to be reabsorbed by your body and like pulled back in if you have extra skin from weight loss. Like it'll tighten back up.
Oh shit! If that goes away, then.
But you're looking at like
if that's true, I wouldn't bother with it.
But you're looking at like 4 or 5 years of like skin hanging off of your body, and like think about like you gotta get in there and clean.
There was some guy that was actually showing.
That would be very fucking.
I can't remember who it was. There was some dude. He was relatively young and he was fat at one point, and he was actually showing like all the extra skin, dude. I'm like, God damn, that's fucking gross. I'm like, all right, if it was like that, I might not want to wait for nature to take its course.
I don't think it's how gross it looks. I think it's how much work there was involved with maintenance. Because you gotta like keep that skin dry and like clean and
folds and shit.
You could really run the risk of getting a lot of weird infections if you're not like super on top of it all the time.
Yeah, that would be a fucking pain. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Yeah,
but I'm saying I think given
for when I understand. Yeah, I understand why women do it. Or whatever way you want to view it.
Oh yeah.
Their physical beauty is a pretty decent chunk of their value. You know what I mean? So that's understandable to a certain extent.
Oh yeah. I just think that if there's a lot of people who might talk shit about people that do it, and I bet you, given the right circumstances, almost everybody would do it. I mean, I don't think there's necessarily a lot of people who would change their physical appearance, but I bet you there's people who would be like, well, maybe I get a more definition on my abs, or get rid of that extra skin I from losing the weight, or there's also plastic surgery that's not necessarily cosmetic.
Right.
Because like there's various different conditions where like skin can be too tight on certain parts of your body, and it needs to be like surgical. Like it takes surgery to fix it. Like isn't there also like cleft palate and stuff like that? Those are classified as plastic surgery.
Yeah.
I've been watching a plastic surgeon a lot,
Yeah,
and it's
or
interesting
like a
to
breast.
see how moral like a good plastic surgeon really is. Like he does like commentary on plastic surgery nightmare videos.
Oh, right.
And apparently right now in
Yeah.
China and Korea primarily, there is a fuck ton of just completely unnecessary plastic surgery being done. And it's just horribly unhealthy for the people that are getting it done.
Yeah. Yeah, like people that have had like 30 fucking plastic surgeries and shit, like they're addicted to it basically.
Not even just that, but like
And for
things
shit
where
that's
like
mostly unnecessary.
making your eyes rounder is like a really common thing in Asians, like getting plastic surgery to have their eyes rounder. And the problem is, depending on how they do it,
with makeup.
some of the people who he's looking at in these things, he's like, that woman's never going to be able to close her eyes all the way again. Like the way they did what they did, her eyes are going to be permanently open forever. Or like,
Jesus, dude, that's fucked up.
That person's lips are so fucking full, they're gonna lose the ability to have any sensation in their lips, and they're never gonna get it back, and they're gonna constantly now be like spilling food and drink on themselves through their own mouth, like crazy shit.
Their fucking lips are numb.
Because
all the nerves are just gone. Just
they not only they filled them too full, but they also had it done at places where it was really unsafe and dangerous. Because people seem to think that, oh, you're just injecting a little bit of liquid into your lips, it's no big deal. But if you put it in the wrong place, it can make your lips go numb forever. Yeah. Or it can cause a blood clot that goes into your brain, and then you just die. Yeah. So, like...
Yeah, it turns out you got to be pretty fucking precise with that shit.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff where they inject things into your body...
shit in your body.
In order to do it safe, they have to be using like an ultrasound or an X-ray machine or some sort of machine that gives them some sort of imaging.
Yeah.
So that they don't inject it in the wrong place or too deep or something like that. Yeah. Like the ladies that get their butts done.
Yeah. You don't have to be off by much.
Yeah, the ladies that get their butts done.
That seems like a big target.
If you inject the stuff too deep, it will kill the person. Because there's some veins in there that go all the way straight to the heart.
Wow.
And so literally, like...
Oh, wow.
Getting an injection of, like, whatever, I guess it's like silicone or saline or whatever it is they use to make the butt puff up. If it's like below a certain layer of muscle, you will die from it. It's like, Jesus Christ.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, and so like...
Yeah, and people get that done, like some back alley fucking surgery thing somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of people will go down and like get it done at a salon or something, and it's like, oh, no.
Yeah, that's one of those things that you would have I had no idea. That's something that vital. That's that so close. And your ass. Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Right? You would think. Yeah, femoral artery is pretty important.
Yeah.
You never told me.
Scary.
No, I didn't.
Your waters.
Oh, you know what? We should call it. We've reached the time, and also I can't think of anything else to go into.
I think we're good. We covered a good chunk of stuff. Yeah. Bye-bye, people not listening. Bye-bye, everybody that's not listening out there.
And now I can go pee.